Welcome back to the Goodest cast, the most mediocre podcast in all the land. On this episode, we got Diego Gordinho, and man, he's out of ATL and he's got some stories. Started out with that street life. He's got a 1J E30 kitted out, big wheels, cool style, drives hard. Him and all his friends are pushing. When we talk about some wild stuff, we got on some tangents, typical Goodest cast fashion. Talk about a bunch of crazy stuff. And I really enjoyed this one. I hope you guys do too. Episode 50. I don't believe it. I didn't think I was going to be going this long, but here we are. I definitely have some cool stuff planned. We got the Seto Drift Comp that ends on December 28th, 2022, in case you're listening to this in the future. I got some cool guests coming up. So definitely stick around, follow Goodest Cast on IG for all updates. Join the Discord. We got a bunch of stuff coming up, so appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoy this episode because it's the goodest. Stupid. Roll it. Tire Streets. That's right. Another Tire Streets ad. And if you listen to the podcast, you fucking know that Tire Streets is where you get Acceleras. Acceleras 651s to be exact. And if you want 20% off on those bad boys, Goodest 651. 20% off. That's what we run all around. Front, rear, sometimes 100 treadwear, sometimes 200 treadwear. Depends on how we're feeling. Depends on the outing, kind of environment, kind of vibe. You can get other tires too. Goodest 15 gets you anything off Tire Streets. So you want tow rig tires, you want mud terrains, you want freaking tires for your side chicks. Fucking, she needs 2 tires or something. I don't know. What? Your side person? It's 2022, everybody. Tire Streets, Acceleras. Buy them. Fucking buy them. Man, I hope they don't listen to this.
How are you?
Good, man. Did you win $50 drifting?
Yeah, dude. Big check.
Dude, that check probably cost more to make than giving you the $50.
There you go. Had a skateboard in the way.
Sick. Oh, this is the first one that we're doing in a garage. It doesn't sound that bad.
These new Macs are nuts.
Yeah.
There we go. Does that work? Yeah, there we go. What's up, dude? How's the car? How's life?
The car is in pieces. My life also in pieces, but we're doing it, right? Whose isn't?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I ripped one of the lollipops out of my chassis last time I drove. So
Me too. I've got mine welded to the car right now.
yeah, I saw you had a bit of a wreck at the last event.
Hang on, it's gonna pop up. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I snapped the control arm and drove into a pole, and then broke everything else.
Sick.
Yeah,
Did the control arm just failed?
yeah the ball joint stud snapped in 2 pieces. Some E30 stuff. Never changed them. Should have changed them.
Man, it happens.
It does happen, dude. Always at the worst times.
Yeah, you guys definitely drive a lot out there, so that's cool.
It's cool. We got a bunch of stuff. What do y'all have out there? What do y'all have out there?
I mean, we have a ton of places we can drive. They're just everything's like kind of far away. Like, what's that like track that I always see like T-Pain at? Like that, like it's like a
The
little
big pole one?
infield. Yeah.
Yeah, it's linear. That's like hour 20.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's not too bad. You can get to a street in there and back.
Yeah.
and they've been having those every other Friday, which has been nice
Nice. Do you drive your car tuned from the track most of the time?
if I can. It's
Yeah.
got this thing where it breaks like 3 axles an event, so it's just been trailered recently, but it's the end of the season.
It breaks 3 axles in an event. That's sick.
I don't know why.
You probably gotten really quick at changing axles. I don't know, maybe is it because you have a E30 with big dish three-piece and a JZ?
Rippy 235s.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up, dude. Trying to keep up. Because you have adjustable rear suspension, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause I've got like the weird camber like cutout things, but it's still like a good -4 in the rear.
What, yeah, what, like, can you upgrade the axles or are you just like, whatever? Like, are E30 axles hard to get at this
They
point?
make drive shaft shop ones, but I work at O'Reilly's and they're lifetime warranty. So I've just been
Gotcha.
lifetime warrantying axles for 3 years.
Sick.
It's sick. The drive shaft shop ones apparently work, but they take like 6 minutes to get in and out, and they're cheap.
That's
They're
not
free.
bad.
And it's really just the Kendas. Since the Kendas have been back, the Salons didn't break anything, but since I've gone back to 180 treadwears, it's like every fourth clutch kick is
Yeah.
it's that weird balance. It's like, do you wanna go fast or do you wanna have fun with your friends? Like,
Both.
both.
Yes.
Yes. That's why I'm building an S chassis. The answer.
Um, are you building an S chassis?
Yeah.
Interesting.
S13 hatch, hopefully to just work, not break axles, and
You'll find other stuff to break on those, don't worry.
SR. R scares me.
I mean, yeah, Jay-Z is like
It's bulletproof, dude. I'm still on the stock, everything from Japan. I've changed oil filters and, spark plugs. Same cert belt, like, same timing belt.
I
Just
just
work.
I just did my timing belt.
You put the
Ah,
blue get one in.
yeah. I was like, "Ah, alright, I'm doing the timing belt. I'll spend the extra $20 for the blue one."
Not worry about it for the 10 years.
Yeah. Um, how did you end up with the E30?
Dude, so I really wanted an NA Miata, and my dad had an E30 when he was, like, my age. It was apparently also slammed. There's no pictures of it. It was apparently slammed, and we found a deal on one in, like, North Carolina and just was cheaper than the 240 at the time, started with that, and then Jay-Z's at that time were also cheap, and it was, like, turbo the M20 or for the same amount, put a 1J in it. So it was
Yeah.
like, put a 1J in it.
Yeah.
It's been history, dude. Sick.
What, yeah, how old were you when you picked up the E30?
16.
Okay, so, like, was that
Been
your
my
first
main
car?
drift car since. Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
that
which was sweet, dude.
sick? So your first car, E30, did you immediately throw the Jay-Z in it?
No, and it was M20 for I dailied it for a year and then drifted it for a year M20 and, like, drove it back and forth to school and never skipped a beat, and
Sick.
then Jay-Z.
Yeah, and, like, you can get away with that out where you're at, right? Like
We have emissions, but they're not, like, too worried about swaps, um, and because it's so old, the emissions are kinda like, just get a tag and then you're good.
that's sick.
But I'm sure, like, they're recently it's been cracking down more
Yeah.
where I'm at for, like, just random mods and them actually checking the height of cars and, "Oh, you have an aftermarket steering wheel, why?"
What's the reason behind that? You think it's like
More than anything, I think, this is gonna sound very ignorant, but the meets, like,
mm,
there's just a lot of car shows that get blown incredibly out of proportion,
mm,
like, in and around me. So it's cops just see it all as the same, loud car, stickers, "What's going on? Where are y'all going?"
mm,
I don't know. It used to be very lax. We used to go streeting a good bit, but recently, dude, it's like they've got the helicopter and, like, are trying to find people. It's
really?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much money Atlanta's spending in trying to stop street racing, but I can tell you it's a good bit.
They got a big budget now. Is it
They got
like
Hellcats.
they have the police department has Hellcats?
They got GSP Hellcats, dude. The sheriff's one's got like a American flag flame livery, and it's a Hellcat.
No way.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
I
their
guess if that's what you're chasing all the time, you might as well have the same thing.
because they have like a weird no chase thing in Atlanta past like 140, I think. But the Hellcat, like if it's there,
They'll let them run it. They'll let them bald eagles fly.
they get down, dude. They get down.
That's insane.
It's been cool, but I got a trailer like end of last year, and it's been nice being able to go a little bit harder driving, not having to worry about
Getting
like
home.
behind the car home. Yeah,
Yeah.
which has been cool.
I haven't driven a car to a drift event in a very long time.
But it's like pretty hot where you live, isn't
Yeah, I mean, people do it. I just I don't know. I did it a lot and then I was over it. I'm
it?
like,
Less headache.
yeah,
Just go drive and go home.
especially the M3, like I'd get pulled over for sure.
Yeah,
Like
very
especially how it looks right now.
very red.
Very red, very ratty, like different colored door.
Did the kid last the last event?
No. No.
I'm gonna call David Bob.
It's you know,
But you got Julian Payton, so at least you got like a paint hookup between y'all.
yeah. Yeah, Phoebe painted my last kit, luckily.
What? That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that was sick. Phoebe's like, "Yeah, I'll spray it." I'm like, "Alright. Alright." I left it there and Phoebe's like, "Do you care if I paint it?" I was like, "No, that'd be sick." She's like, "I'm trying to practice." And, like, it came out super good. Like, it was no runs, no, like, it was like of course, I fucking destroyed it almost immediately, but
That's the other thing is drift cars, so like as long as it's shiny,
yeah,
you're good.
yeah.
His
Um,
garage thing looks nuts.
yeah. I mean, I saw that you just candy painted a E36 sedan?
Yeah, dude, I've got like the Aaron setup with the tarps,
Yeah.
a bunch of fans, and just get down, dude.
What got you into painting cars? What was like you're just like, "I don't wanna pay anybody," or you're like, "This is" I feel like everybody, like, finds something working on cars, they're like, "This is the thing I wanna do," and then they do that.
Like indirectly that I like took it somewhere nice to get it painted once and then wrecked it the next weekend. And it was like, I'm not gonna go back there and pay more money and kind of watch some YouTube videos and like messed it up for a while. And then last year, July, I had a buddy like, hey man, paint my car like if it looks like junk, whatever. And that was kind of what got me into doing it for people. But it's fun, dude. There's so many rabbit holes and like candy, and then it's like lace candy flake. Like it just as deep as you want to go, there's a tunnel to go. And it's as long as you have space, it's like relatively easily accessible as far as like getting paint and getting a gun. You can kind of just get away with a cheap compressor if you're doing parts. Just jam, dude. Having a cool car is cool.
Yeah. I wish I was better at paintings. I wish I was better at fiberglass and painting so I could keep my car at least at, like, a certain point, but, you know,
Just messing it up a few times and then it's like, okay.
yeah.
And if you can learn to buff or you can learn to paint, it anything that you do can look wonderful.
Hmm.
Because just lay enough clear down and you can cut and buff everything out of it. And then you just have that crazy, shiny, sick,
Big
sick.
big big flex machine.
Yeah. And wrecking
Uh,
it all looks clean.
how did you so when you bought the E30, did you know that you wanted to go drifting? Like, how did
Sort of. I was really into autocross at the time, and there was an autocross event like the same day as a drift event at that bowl joint, and like got a ride and was like, "Whoa, this is sort of like Gymkhana, but way cooler." And then just like started doing some street donut stuff, and it was like, "Whoa, this is cool," and just progressed progressed to hitting corners and trying to link corners. And I was like, "Okay, track I can actually play and not worry about having to worry. I can just drive, and then it's fun, dude.
Yeah, just
It's
keep
so
pushing.
fun.
Um, so you did you know about drifting beforehand, or did you discover it like at that event?
Sort of. It was really just YouTube from like I don't know. I guess I got into it like a year before I got my license. I started watching like when what was that 2015 Nakamura came to Super D? Or was it
2016.
2016?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that video was like the whoa. This is everybody's got super cool cars and they're all going and driving like nuts. How do I get there? And then it was always just like the final bout stuff. Also, there was a bunch of media up, so it was just studying that and like how cars look. And I honestly found that before I figured out about like the old VOP stuff. And then it was like, whoa, there's also so much just car stuff everywhere,
Yeah,
indulgent and style points to take from everywhere in different eras. Like it's just so cool. You can do a car 90 million different ways and it'd be cool in your head. It's like sick.
yeah,
You just have you can stare at it. It's like that's sick. Like that's sick.
yeah,
And then also like social media, I feel like at least with I wouldn't say my era, but like I guess our era, you just see everybody's cars always looking cool. It's like, man, like how do I get to that level of having a car that looks cool and drives nuts and sounds nuts? There's just so much of it. Like you just search SR20 noise in YouTube and there's 36,000 videos.
yeah. That's a good point. I don't know how often. Yeah, yeah. Lots of stuff to like when I was starting out. Like I like finding drifting stuff before I got into it was hard, and then once I was like actually drifting, like dude, there's like a lot of stuff going on. Like you can there's like a ton of avenues and there's like different styles, but like not like today. Like there's so many different drift series. It's like, do you want to go do shootouts? Do you want to go be a pro? Do you want to do clutch kickers? Do you want to like some of that's some of the same. Do you want to do final bout? Do you want to do super D? Do you want to like
So many avenues,
I don't
dude.
know. Yeah, just go
So
to
many
skid
avenues.
pad days. You want to go to
Yeah.
like
The crazy fast road course car, like there's so many ways you can do it now. There's so many I wouldn't say write ups, but I guess like write ups and sort of how to's.
yeah,
Now it's where the knowledge is there, but the parts aren't where they were like then. Whereas then you guys had the parts, but there wasn't like crazy mega write ups on how to make every stupid combination of put a ZF behind your 1J, like with this weird adapter and
yeah,
run this clutch. Like,
yeah. There was like there was like the you got to get there. I mean, that stuff existed, but it wasn't like really that much better. It was like, oh, if you get like I remember like on Zilvia, it's like, oh, you get the Z31 like slave cylinder and like put that on like the clutch like works better and I was like it's all this like really odd
this
stuff like
combo
yeah if
stuff.
you get this three like if you get this 280Z flywheel and this clutch like you run a bigger clutch on your KA and stuff like that. It's just like like
But
not really like I don't know. I would say like the majority of the cars back then were like not really all that used for drifting yet, like especially like the S chassis and stuff. Like a lot of them just had like stock bushings and like
more
camber
simple.
arms or toe arms, maybe, and
Yeah. It's like stock engine, just
coilovers.
damn car. Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple, dude. Just a, just go to the track, have fun.
Everybody like chasing grip and trying to go fast. It's like definitely making people have to step their like car building up a little bit at least, like driveline wise. So there's that.
It makes like a weird entry point thing though. Like drifting's always been like the attainable, I wouldn't say attainable motorsport, but like you can't get a DTM car and go DTM racing with your buds, but like you can get a pretty drift car and come
I'm
drifting. But
working
it's
on it, man.
uh,
One of
yeah,
these days.
yeah. It's like now you need like a 350 wheel and 265s, and are you on 180 tread wears or 300 tread wears? It's like
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah. I
but
think
it's
you can
fun going fast. So it's like
yeah. I think you can still like I don't know. What's your like is you I haven't like I haven't I've seen you guys drive on the internet, but I haven't seen you drive in person. Like What's like your circle like chasing? Are you chasing like fast driving and close tandems? I mean, that's what I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah, pretty much just that, and trying to, I guess, do that while having cars that are cool-ish,
Yeah.
but mostly focus on driving.
Yeah.
We did a bunch of road course stuff last year, but close tandem driving is definitely the most fun,
Yeah.
at least as far as
Yeah.
what
I
modes
mean,
goes.
watching all those videos of you guys at Mid Pond, I'm like, yeah,
Dude, that
that's
place is
it.
cool. That place is really cool.
I'm really sad I missed that event. It looks
Hopefully another one next year, another couple next year, hopefully.
yeah,
Fingers crossed. Fingers
yeah.
crossed. It's cool.
Definitely need to come out to one of those.
Yeah, dude. It's real, like, not in the backyard of someone's house, but, like, kind of in the backyard of someone's house, like, just off a road in Alabama. So it's just real everybody's just real cool. Just kinda show up, drive whenever. There's not like a I don't know if I can I don't know if I can say there's not an ambulance. Might have to bleep that out. But there's
Okay.
not like any ambulance or like fire. You just kinda like bring your own stuff and like don't be stupid. It
Yeah.
sort of brings like a not novice, but like kind of just have an idea of how to have a safe track day. Like we don't really have there's not really like flaggers or anybody on track. Like if you see a track, just someone crashed, just don't drift that corner. Everybody
Yeah.
just
If you
kind
see
of
someone go in the
governs
woods,
themselves. Yeah.
I saw one of the homies in the woods.
Bryson, always Bryson. 3 miles in the wood getting pulled off. They got a Crown Vic with like some crazy like mud bog tires on it and a big rope.
No.
And that's like the if you're stuck, hook it up somewhere. It's very Alabama, dude. It's awesome.
That's so sick.
It's super awesome. Shout out Bitcoin.
Yeah, I definitely want to go drive there at some point. It looks fun.
It's cool. That was cool, and Summit Point was cool. It's kind of far, but that
How
was
f-
really
how far is far?
like 10, 11 hours.
Yeah, that's far.
It was cool.
Where is Summit Point?
West Virginia.
Hmm.
I think up by like Jack and them. It was cool. It's also weird like going to different areas and seeing like how they set up cars differently.
Yeah.
Like, Atlanta's very like not low carb big wheel, but like kind of low carb big wheel, and they were like very gripped up. Everything was kind of more pro-y,
Yeah.
just just different, I guess different tracks, but how everybody sets everything up different.
Yeah, I didn't know like Atlanta had a scene until I saw the Will Rogie like movie or it was a video. It was a movie.
The one with the E46 launching down 75.
Yeah. Andy
Yeah,
Sapp.
dude. Yeah, I guess that one that was too around that same time. Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, "You can drift those? Like, those are good drift cars?" I thought that was so sick. I actually talked to Andy Sapp when I finished my car because he was like he shared it, and I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yo, man."
It's
I
crazy. I watched that video.
when he still had social media, I was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, that was." I was like, honestly, I watched that video and I was like, I'm not like I don't know, I'm not like a huge BMW guy. Like I don't know. I didn't like especially when I got the car, I didn't know like a lot about BMWs. I just thought I want to do something different and like seeing that I was like, that's different.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool, dude. It's real like just stock car, like real OEM plus aero, like on some
Yeah.
race makes it sweet.
Yeah.
It's I've only seen it in real life a few times, like one of those rare, like it comes to meets occasionally and then it just disappears for a while. It's cool, dude.
Yeah. That
I
dude's
guess
really cool.
there's not too many, I guess I say that, there's actually a bunch, that was a lie. We got all the Garage Moon Power, the Heat Lightning guys. Well, I guess that's it. I guess if you count us, but just a bunch of kids with candy paint crashing into each other. That's
What's not to like?
what I'm saying. The kids love it.
Paint your car candy and go drive it into your friends.
Go wreck into your friend. Careful of your canard. You gotta get it in once, dude.
I'm staying out of that one.
It's a weird, like, both parties. Everybody drive safe, have fun with your friends.
That's that's all I can say.
Oh, man.
The internet really ran with that, huh?
Got crazy. I got there super late and was, like, trying to play catch up, really confused. I thought it was like a poem.
Mm. Oh, because you saw, like, people reposting the
Dude, I think the
caption
first one I saw
without
was
seeing the
Tom,
picture?
and I was like, "What the hell is Tom talking about?" Like, I
Ugh.
lost my canard bumping into a teammate, and then clicked it, and I was like, "Oh, it's not just some Tom talk. This is a real thing."
Yeah. Crash Doll likes to talk
Incite
shit.
it. They like to incite it.
The
Shot it through his mustache.
you know?
Wanna drive with them too. That boys look like they go hard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The
I
first time
love
I drove with Lucas, I didn't I didn't know he was behind me. I was just like, "Good luck, League," and he, like, chased me, and I was like, "Who the fuck is th" I was like, "Who is this?" And he was, like, on my shit the whole run, and I'm like, "What the fuck? Who is that kid?" His car was, like, collapsed. It was when he had his blue four-door M3,
Yeah,
like,
smash.
super high, like, just and I'm like, "What is this?" I was like, "Dude, this dude's on my door in this bucket," like, he wasn't on my door, but he was, like, definitely,
Getting
like
there. Getting there.
yeah, he was I mean, he could do it. It was just I was trying to ditch him, you know? I'm like, "Who's this
Another
trying to
little
run up
dude
on
speeding,
me?"
bro.
Yeah, those
That
dudes
is
can drive.
crazy. It's making everybody also drive crazy.
Well, like you said, people have kinda, like it's like, do you have your styles of where you're from? You know, like, everyone, like, I don't know, like, Pacific Northwest, everybody's got cool JDM cars because they can. They
Yeah,
just go up to Canada and buy it and bring it back, like,
you back.
you know?
Reggio with S13.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to, like, obtain, like, cool JDM cars, and they I don't know. Obviously, there's, like, pro style everywhere, and then there's, like, the grassroots style in your, like, area, and
Yeah.
it's kinda cool to see how, like, all the individual little areas are affected.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's weird. It's like somebody will start like, I feel like you guys kinda started the 265 Accelera thing, and then it, like, went to Jack and them, came to us, and now I see the Texas guys also, like, on 255s and 265s, like, everybody's trying it. It's like everything just kinda, like, slowly, "Oh, they're doing it, let's see if it works." Like, "Oh,
I
okay,
mean, yeah,
maybe that does work, we'll try it."
we they've been on like, Julian and Ryan and Jason were on, like, 255s to 265s for, like, uh, definitely before 2016.
Really?
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
And they
That
just don't break
first
stuff?
Super D Mod Surrey, I was on 255s.
And you don't break stuff?
Uh, I didn't at the time. I wasn't on, like, the stickiest 265 or 255s. Um, but yeah, I remember, like, once we started going to, like, the semi-slick, like, 265s, that's when everyone started breaking shit. Like, Julian would when we went to DUI in Canada, Julian broke, like, 7 or 8 axles.
What? What?
So he brought so many and he broke so many that I think he took the ones off Jason's car because Jason, like, hit that, like, pothole and, like, exploded his, like, rear end pretty much, like, his
Rear of his
rear
car.
suspension and wheel.
That
Uh,
jump thing looked crazy with that little pothole.
dude, I let him there, it's my fault. He also ran into a porta potty, and that was pretty fucking funny. Like, that was, like, up there with, like, funniest, like, drifting, like drifting memories of me watching something happen. That was, like, probably up there with, like, one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Jason, like, spearing the porta potty.
It just fell over or did it, like, blow up, go everywhere?
Oh, yeah, no, it didn't explode or
Like
anything,
Jackass, just porta potty everywhere.
but, like, you know,
Oh, man.
if someone was in there, they would be fucking pissed.
That's crazy.
But he, like, backed up and it, like, you know, went
Just
back
pop back out in the
yeah,
porta potty,
went
dude.
back into shape.
We need that plastic and over fenders. Just buy it once and have it forever.
That would be nice.
dude.
No more
You need to figure out how to
no more
do molds.
fiberglass in my fucking hands. One of these days we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna invent like a drifting plastic that you can use for like bumpers and shit that like
You ever, like, played with an RC car?
yeah,
You know, like, the RC bodies?
yeah.
Dude, in my mind, that, like, 3 mil thicker, and you're the perfect like, it's not floppy like KBD, but it won't crack like fiberglass. I just
Yeah,
don't
I
know what
wonder what
that's
it would
called.
cost to like make it.
You can, like, 3D print fenders, dude, imagine.
That's actually kind of genius.
Pop them together.
I wonder if it like gets weaker as it gets bigger though. Like cuz those
Probably, well,
bodies are
they're
so like
going
round. They're so concave or
crazy, like, circus
convex, concave,
son.
convex. They're fucking whatever.
Photosynthesis.
uh so why'd you go big wheels route instead of like pro boy stuff? Like what do you
A bunch of you guys. It was like that era, dude, everything was low, like, Julian had that crazy S14. That park final bout is the video that's just engraved in my head when y'all were all dumped on huge chrome wheels,
mm,
and it was
that was a good look. Yeah. That
indirectly, like, the E30 came red also, so it was just like this big chrome wheel, like, I know it'll
gotta
look
do
good,
it.
gotta do it. I wish there were more fender options, though. I wish there were more E30 aero options, honestly.
I wish there
But,
were more E36 aero options.
like, you either get BN or you get OEM. Or, I
Yeah.
guess, Bomex, but you gotta either get scammed or wait 9 months.
Yeah. um, the yeah, it sucks that like HM Sports made a kit and then no one decided to make another kit. They just made the HM Sports kit.
Yeah, sports
They're
games.
like, oh, someone already made a kit. Let's just copy it. Like, let's not even try that hard. Like, people make side skirts, but no one wants to make front and rear bumpers. And like,
There's that one have you seen that racing line one for the E36? That someone, like, chopped up a racing line kit?
from
He
Poland.
I, like, tried to get that originally, and he said we had to, like, fill a container, and we could get it, so I don't know if that's a real thing.
Yeah,
I guess I'm sure it's harder to ship than it was then, getting stuff in and out.
I don't know, man.
The whole arrow cut in half thing is weird too. This is the first time I got a kit that was, like, in half. Weird. Doesn't
I
feel right.
mean, how small was the box though?
That's what like, dude, the whole body kit was in, like, a 2 foot by 2 foot box, and it all just, like, clipped together.
Yeah, I
That's
think,
unrealistic. It was probably, like, 3 foot by 3 foot.
but still, it's
Yeah,
not bad.
no. And it got there quick, which I guess is cool, but before it had to come, I guess, Greyhound. Yeah, or that yellow company where they pull up the damn box truck in your driveway.
Yeah, I'm getting real tired of like, dude, like the kit that I have on my car right now. I was it got like delivered. They were like, we can't deliver to your address. You got to come get it from like the distribution center. And we were about to go to Washington for that like 2 day like animal style like team event that
Pretty
we
good.
just the like private days. And I was gonna be gone for like a week or two. And they were like, yeah, if you don't come get it in like 4 days, we're gonna send it back. And I'm like,
Got a
and
good deal.
I was in Sacramento and I was like, fuck. So everyone's like, "Wasn't your kid painted for the event?" It's like I literally drove from Sacramento back to the Bay just to get the kit, and I like put it on as we were leaving. Like I
Sorry,
didn't.
that's
Sorry, I didn't paint it.
sorry, I can't snap my fingers and make it red.
Yeah.
I wish.
Aaron's like, "Let's paint it when you get here." I was like, "Sick," and then
No.
we were having too good of a time. It was not. It wasn't. was not that kind of hang.
Pre-event crunch, always.
Yeah. How long have you been driving now?
This 4 4 years. Next year will be 5 years.
Sick.
It's been good fun.
Yeah, you guys are making
Hey,
good progression.
yeah, it's been cool. This has been the first year we've like gone. I mean, I guess we went to Mid Pond and stuff, but like pretty far out of state and got to see some different tracks and meet some new people.
Yeah, how exciting is it to like do your first like long trip and go drive somewhere that you've never driven before? You're like, oh, I got to learn this track in front of all these people.
So fun. That's the final bout was stressful. We did like I had painted 4 cars that week, and then my car was the fifth, and I got it done at like 4 a.m. that morning. Like let it dry in the trailer. Bombed up to West Virginia. Took a nap at like a Cracker Barrel, dude, and then spun out every single lap. Spun out pretty much every lap until it stopped raining. It's just like you think you get like comfortable at like local tracks and you go out of state and it's like a smack in the face. Like there's still 96,000 levels of this to keep climbing, even
Yeah.
though you had like a sick lap or that was a sick day. You get home and it's like you watch the videos. Man, that could have been cooler. Could have been
Yeah,
way
I mean, I know that one. We
you go
definitely all
hard.
have those. Like, I watched. I mean, we all do it. Like, Aaron and I hung out after that like animal style event, like the private days at Evergreen, and we were just watching clips, and we're like, ah, shouldn't have lifted there. Like, shouldn't have done this. They're just like picking our driving apart.
You feel so crazy in the car, and then you watch it back. It's like, man,
Yeah, you're like, oh, I I I chickened out. That
it's weird.
sucks.
Like
This clip would have been so sick if I just stayed in it, or like,
it's bummed.
yeah,
It's where the like that in GoPro, I feel like is the easiest way to figure out what you're doing wrong. It's
yeah,
like just back. It's like, oh man, I'm spaghetti hands.
yeah. When we were in Japan, we saw a dude, like, he had like one of those like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like a really weird like phone clip, and he was like he would like wrap it around like a tree at Mahon and like aim it at the track, and then he would go out for his 20-minute session. And every time he would come back, and then he'd watch the whole 20-minute session
What?
and just like try and perfect the line.
Idiot.
And then that dude won the solo run comp that weekend.
What? Just had it dialed, dude.
Yeah, it's like that little
Fucking
stuff makes a big difference. Like I want to do more like studying of my own driving, but it's like when you're at the track, it's like hanging out with the boys and
you don't wanna like throw a camera in, get it all set up. Like, no, let's go get a lap.
yeah, and then it's the end of the day and you have no footage and you're just
I'm
like it
having
was
2
sick though, like I
clips.
don't care, or like your car breaks and you're like I don't know shit, but whatever. Next time, I guess.
How was Japan, dude? That looked cool. Hopefully next year I'm gonna try and go. It looked nuts.
I mean, Japan's always crazy. Um, the first time I went, I didn't go with the team. I met up with like um Aaron Wong and like Yusuf and Xander, and it was like just I don't know, even just like going to like Up Garage, I was like, this is crazy, like
See it all in real life.
Going to Mahon, I was like, driving up the hill, I was just like, whoa, like I've seen this in so many videos, and it's like I'm actually here, and you like come up over the hill. It's like videos don't like I don't know, like I don't know what the entrance to like mid pond looks like. I don't know what the parking lot like. I don't know where all the roads are, and like I guess if you like play it in a seto, you can kind of figure stuff out like that. But until you've like been there, it's not like I don't know. I feel like I have like a really like
Listen,
I have like a super visual memory, and I'm like to like have like I don't know how to explain it. Like once I'm there, I'm like okay, now I like know where everything is.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, like pulling up over the hill, you're just like, whoa. And then you see the driving, and you're like, holy shit. And then every time you go back there, you're like, fuck. Like the first time I went was 2016. and then we haven't been since 2019. So we went 2016, 2017 was Super D Japan, and then 2019. So almost every year, and then COVID.
Shut it all down for a little bit.
Yeah.
And we were
Um,
planning to go, like, that month that everything happened, and then they shut the border and everything. Oh, man. It's just been waiting for it to open. I just saw Tyler and all them over at, like, Matsuri or whatever, so
I
I
know.
guess
I
he
was
could.
like, I didn't even know any of them were going. I didn't know like
No one said
anyone.
anything, they just went, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, Japan opened up, we'll see y'all."
Yeah. And they just ran Matsuri and like it was so cool to me that like two people on the podcast who have been on the podcast, like who probably haven't met each other are like tandeming at Ebisu, like in JZX, like in like JZX and like
Mhm.
a R32. Like, what? Like that's so sick.
The internet's so cool. Just meet and, like, make internet acquaintances, and like you said, when you finally get to drive, it's like, "Whoa, we've been
Yeah.
talking about this for how long?" And it's finally real.
Yeah. And then like the Polish E36 homies were there driving too, and you know, LZ, and like it's just you're like, fuck, I want to drift. Like I want to go, I want to be there.
Well, did you guys go to Ebisu any of the times you went?
I did.
Was
I
it cool?
like I like forced it because it was like it was more of like a,
Yeah, I would
a
too if we were there, you kidding me?
yeah. I was with my ex girlfriend. I was like,
There's the zoo, they have some car stuff, we can look at the
dude, the
zoo.
zoo is so fucking sad, bro. Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah, the zoo like reminds you that like they don't fuck with animals like the same way in other countries.
That
You
we
know,
do over here,
like
yeah.
the rules of like I don't know. One of my one one of my homies, uh, he went out there and he's like vegan and he's like he's like I like he's like the worst part of the trip was the zoo have you
And
seen
it's
like because dude it's not even like they have the animals just like in cages and it's like yo they're fucking next to like the road that you like one of the roads that you like drive around to go to the different tracks on. There's like a restaurant with like that has like you can like get hella good food there. Like it's like a track restaurant, like a track, food spot, but it's like an actual restaurant. They have like udon and stuff. Um, but yeah, it's like across from that, and it's like uh, the cages are like shipping containers that are like spray painted to look like the
out
jungle.
of that's ours, dude.
Yeah, it's real sad. And then like I don't know, the animals just don't look like they're having a good time.
It's a weird, like, combo of things to have in the same place.
Yeah. There's a
Very, like,
safari
cool.
there.
You can, like, get on a truck and, like, go for a
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah.
What?
They have that they have like they have like 8 like they had GT86s, GT is that what it's called? Whatever. Anyway, but, like they had GT86s that are like lifted with like and they're like painted with like tiger stripes, like orange and black. Yeah, and they're like lifted with like rally tires on them and stuff. I don't think they use those for the safari. I think those are more for like the rally stuff, but they do like a ton of shit there.
So now I guess Minami's a like an off-road track, isn't it?
Yeah. They just
Crazy.
took I think they like took the first layer of asphalt off. Like the shape is still there.
It's just not, like, asphalt/concrete,
Yeah.
drivable surface.
Yeah, like Milky Diamonds was saying that like when they had the FD Japan or D1 event, I can't remember which one it was, but they just parked on the like that's where they parked. They parked in the gravel on like Minami.
Yeah.
Like Minami's like a parking lot now.
You'd, like, stab in the foot. Now just park your cars over in the Minami lot. Like, okay.
Damn it. That's like one of those dream tracks, that you like have to try.
Yeah. And now I guess the closest you can get is well, unless you're doing it in some sort of rally form, is a Seto.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they'll bring it back someday.
Somebody in the US will replicate it somehow. There'll be like a mirror of it.
I was hoping they just put like dirt on top of it or something.
that would, like, be movable, like they do for, like, the motocross events and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah.
somebody green lighted that. Keep the zoo, get rid of Minami.
All I wanna know is who's going to Ebisu just to check out the zoo? Like, and then they're like, "This is a racetrack? This is so weird." Just just like we are when we get there, they're like, "There's a zoo here?" Also the only saving grace of me taking my ex to Ebisu because it was for, like, a Matsuri, like, it was, like, a ton of driving and stuff, but I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's where they took the Frank like, the blonde like, one of the blonde album covers for Frank Ocean." It's like him wearing the helmet or whatever. Like, I'm like, "I was right there," and
I
Shalmi's
was
just
there?
like, "Yeah,
What?
yeah." One of the dudes from Australia, I can't remember, like, I think it was one of the Hit and Run guys, like, has a photo with, Frank Ocean at Ebisu.
It's crazy,
Isn't that weird?
crazy. What a weird yeah, that is weird. I
Do
guess
you ev
they're all
do you ever wonder if because, like, Frank Ocean and all, like, Odd Future, like, in the E30s, if they, like, see your car and they're like, "That's sick."
occasionally. 'Cause do you remember that, like remember that ad they did? I mean, this was also years ago, dude, but it was for, like, a Camp Flog Gnaw, and you could win, like, a
Oh, that car was so ugly, dude.
that car was gross, but
That
that was
car was
also
so
early
ugly. I was like,
but
Tyler, the Creator would style this car.
put a big golf flag logo on the side,
Oh,
and it
the wheels were trash.
the wheels
Yo,
were
man, I okay, I'm just gonna say it, like, I've been a 190E fan for, like, since like, I love DTM racing. I was, like, what I thought was sick when I was a kid. My first car was a 190E. Yo, man, ASAP Rocky picking the 190E for the latest, like, Need for Speed game has me so sad because 'cause I'm like, "Fuck, I need to buy one of these cars, like, immediately."
have they gone up in price yet?
They've been going up.
That's also one of those weird, like, E30 M3 in rarity cars.
Oh, the Evo 2 or, like, the Causies are, like, astronomical at this point.
'Cause the 190E was, like, the
There's
paper
only 500 Evo 2s made. So, like, a lot of the ones you see are replicas, which I don't I'd probably build a replica, who cares?
like throwing M3 bumpers on a 3 Series, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna keep the motor that comes in it anyway, I'm gonna make it, like, crazy, I think they look cool. But, yeah, having A$AP Rocky have a Mercedes 190e Evo 2 that's, like, black on one side and white on the other, and it's like, yeah, these celebrities with their, like, car modifications, I don't know
It's
who
just
their, like, consultants are, but,
where are they seeing stuff that looks like this, or do they just cook it up one day and it's like, "Yeah, run that."
they're like, "Ooh, yeah, yeah, that car's sick. Alright, let's paint it white and black," and, like, kinda wheels should I put on it? You know who has, like, really good car taste is, Action Bronson. Have you seen he has, like, a bunch of BMWs,
Yeah,
and
yeah, that
they're,
F1
like,
series.
nice.
Really?
Yeah, they're, like, well styled, like, period correct BBSs, like,
Very
very
classic.
yeah, like, very, like, New York dope dealer, like, 90s.
Big bodies, dude. Just
Yeah,
big bodies and a bunch of shark noses.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you guys have some, like, car culture stuff out in Atlanta with all the rappers and celebrities you have out there, like,
Yeah, there's a weird, like I guess it's not a weird T-Pain just, like, shows up at local grassroots events like a regular person and just, like, hangs out and bullshits in the pits. It's a weird one.
that's really
It's so
interesting.
cool seeing him, like, interact as a regular person, but he just, like, pops around.
That's sick. It's cool he's not just, like, has, like, some trailer and, like, hides out in it or something.
No, dude just pops around, and there's been a couple, I guess when we used to do a bunch of the street stuff, there were a few rappers coming out, but it was more for just the street stuff than anything.
Yeah, what was that like?
That was cool. It was a weird, like, GTA in Atlanta, just kinda doing it for a while, and then they got the helicopter and the damn Hellcat with the American flag on the front, and everything stopped, dude. They started hanging out Rico charges, and everybody got out of the street.
Rico charges for street racing?
There was a how do I there was a video of some people saying some things and someone doing a donut, and a 50 charge court case was built off of a 30-second Instagram clip of some things being said and someone doing a single donut. And it was nuts. That's like what really was like, okay, they're not playing anymore. Like the cops are on Instagram screen recording everything, like just taking pictures of literal posts, like using reels as evidence. It got really crazy.
Whoa.
Nuts, dude. 50 charges for one donut.
For one person, or they went after, like,
Two people.
was that
And I think it was more of a, "Hey, everybody, we're done playing," than anything, and they were just like, "Wrong place, wrong time."
dude, the last person you wanna be is the one that they wanna make the example with. Like the OG, like, computer like, the OG, barely hackers where they're just like, 20 years in prison, and you're like, I just wanted a free, like, I just wanted a free library card, I'm sorry," and they're like, 20 years in the slammer, and you're like, "Nah." They're like, "We're done with this shit." Yeah,
Yeah, crazy, dude.
you're
But
going
it
to
was
f
cool. It
you're
was
going to
you know what?
federal prison, and then they go to federal prison. I don't anyway, I don't know why I'm keeping the story going.
Don't
My friend said federal prison's, like, the one that you wanna go to.
federal prison
Mhm.
is or isn't?
It is, yeah, that's the one you wanna go to, a low security, uh, federal prison. Like, if you're gonna be a criminal, you wanna be, like, federally charged,
That
is
weird
what he said.
echelon of, like, not too sketchy, but sketchy enough.
Well, he said I don't know how much I should talk anyway, whatever, fuck it. So he was saying, like, 1, like, you're there with people who are, they were going after, big money, it's mainly, like, people who are doing, like, big fraud, you know, s like like,
Yeah,
it's not they're not, like, robbing people, it's not, like, armed robbery or, you know, like, you're there with people who are, pretty fucking smart, and you can, learn a lot of shit.
interesting.
Uh, and,
I asked that
you can come
acquisition.
back and, pretty much, it's like a network it's like going to, okay, I guess the best, comparison would be, jail is, high school, and federal prison is, a good college.
And that weird, like, level of stuff. Dude,
Yeah,
I'm a
there's, clubs and, you, stay in contact and shit and, look out for each other and you, help each other start businesses and shit, for real, this I'm
really
yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's more people that are gonna be there for extended period of time versus jail just being, like, bunch of crackheads and I don't
Yeah.
know, dude.
I wanna tell some of the stories, but I don't know if I can. He's okay, one of them was, I he no one will know who I'm talking about. One of them was, that's, pretty low security, it was, I'm not gonna say where it was, but, they could kinda get out. There wasn't, a a wall around it.
Yeah.
And because, everyone's sentences weren't, super long, they know that, there's no way they know that everyone there is, smart enough to know to just, write out the sentence, and they'll get out early, and they can go back to doing whatever they're doing, but if they run, they're fucked, you know?
Yeah, I guess that
Uh,
makes sense.
so people would have, phones and shit because figure you know how the system goes, and
You
so,
just
they
pop
would,
around, pop around.
have you not seen, have you not seen,
I mean, I guess that, like,
this
they can't posting music in jail.
that's dude, exactly. There's straight up, people on their dating profiles say no prisoners, because people are straight up on, the dating apps, hollering at chicks.
Bro, have you been this is gonna take a real left field here. Have you,
Go
like,
for it.
split through the TikTok live streams?
I don't spend much time on TikTok.
Give it a good, like, 10 scrolls, I guarantee you one of the 10 will be someone in a prison cell live streaming themselves in the prison cell, dude, it's nuts. They've got, like, lights, like, I definitely now that you say that, it's clicked in my head, dude, they're having, like, bangers in whatever federal prison that they're all just hanging out
Mhm. I
in.
mean, people
Now
have
that
phones in jail too, like, that's definitely a thing.
I guess if you're there, maybe just make the most of it, dude.
Dude, you know how it goes. Uh, he was like, yeah, they would go, like, people would just leave, like, because it was, like, near, like, a highway, I guess, and, like, someone would, like, tell someone to just, like, leave a bag of, like, booze or whatever that people wanted, like, on the side of the road, and, like, someone would have to go run out and get, like, they would, like, get somebody to, like,
Pull a straw for who's running in the street.
yeah, pretty much, like, someone would, like, go out and, like, grab the bag or whatever.
Dude, that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Yeah, everything down here has just got I guess everything down here near us at least is fenced in, but we got a bunch of sketch balls down here. There's a lot of it's just it's a nice way to put it. Homeless people with drug abuse problems.
I mean,
Like
I
everywhere.
I think that's the case everywhere. It's
It's
everywhere
crazy.
now.
And that's most of the I guess that's most of it really. They're just in like they hang out in like tribes, so when something happens, there's like 8 or 9 of them you gotta deal with. It's not like 1 or 2 crackheads. It's like a mob of crackheads.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad, but it's, like, also, like, yeah, it's, like, I don't know, people there's, like, a lot of talk about that, like, in the city, like, "Oh, there's so many homeless people." I'm like, I mean, yeah, like, there's a lot of, like,
It is an issue.
programs and stuff, and they try and keep people off the street, like, I don't really know how I don't know, like, in detail how it works, but there's, like, a lot of stuff they're trying to do to keep people from being on the street, but when you have programs, like, people come and take advantage of the things they want and don't necessarily do all the stuff they should, and
You do, yeah, and kinda just abuse the system.
yeah, and also, like, how you can't survive in the middle of nowhere when you're homeless, like, you need
Resources of some sort.
exuberance and extra shit and people leaving food on the street and people driving around, to ask for money
Propaganda
and
that you can trade for food and
yeah, or lots of shit,
and
Not saying like everyone who's homeless steals stuff, but like stuff gets stolen and you
if
know,
you gotta do it, man.
if
It's
you're in
like
the middle of the desert, there isn't a Honda Civic with a, you know, laptop sitting in the passenger seat,
yeah,
like just randomly, Uh I don't really know where I'm going with this. I don't really have
I
like a
guess
stance on it,
it's
but
gonna
it's like
say,
where like
what do
they're
you do?
people and like where are they gonna go?
If you could make it go away, you would, but you
Yeah,
can't, like,
yeah.
homelessness.
Yeah. Like, if there's a lot of people, there's gonna be homeless people there because that's how they get by, I guess. I don't know. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, the more yeah, yeah.
The more access, the more people who don't have anything can survive,
Dude,
I
how is,
guess.
a weird crackhead segue, how is Apple Valley? I hear that's like I hear that's like a different universe from everybody I talk to.
Have you played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas? Okay, like like the beginning when you're like out with the juggalos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally like Bakersfield, like okay. There's, like, north okay, so there's, like, mountains that kinda separate LA and the desert,
Good.
right? Like, LA and Southern California, quote, unquote. Once you go over those mountains, you're in the desert, and it's, like, higher elevation. Like, desert level in San Andreas is, like, where Willow Springs and Grange are, like, an hour apart, and in between the 2 are, like, a ton of cities that are like that. But, like,
Interesting.
Apple Valley is, like, kind of on the outskirts of that, like, big basin of, like, desert cities. Uh, the dude who made the intro and outro beat lives in Lancaster. Shout out Thomas Todd. He's out there.
Be out there
Yeah.
surviving.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, there's definitely, yeah, it's not like, yeah.
they're trying to put it on a scale of like
All I can say is like if you played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and you know like the beginning part where you're like hanging. Wait, San Andreas? What's the
pretty sure you're talking about the you're like
San Andreas was like the first like LA one, but there's like a later LA one where like you like hang out with juggalos in the beginning and then you make your way into the city. Or that's like part of the game. I can't remember. Anyway, whatever. That's what that
the
area
Grand Theft
is.
Autos where you are in a interesting.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, people who don't want to live in the city and they live in the desert.
Just would rather not deal with people.
Yeah. It's like I wouldn't like ever go to Apple Valley to hang out.
It's really just for the track.
Yeah.
Don't stay in a hotel.
Dude, one time, okay, so like we I got a room. It was for the Apple Valley grand reopening, or maybe it was the Sarah Choi event. I can't remember, but like one of those events, they called me and they were like, "Hey, why are like are you coming to check into your room?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" And they're like, "Oh, we're like we're sold out and we have people like wanting rooms." Okay.
I'll
No,
be
I'm
there.
I'm coming. Yeah, like it's like this Motel 6. Like there's like 3 really shitty hotels that are the closest to Apple Valley.
Yeah,
And
always.
they're like pretty far from other stuff. So like it's not they're like they're shitty motels in the desert. Like what do you expect, right? Like there's always gonna be some weird shit going on. But this night we pull up and it's like crazy. There's like hella people out, like there's like pimps hanging out in front of their rooms. Like the fucking like, there's, like, donks, like, park like, and there's just hella people, like, going around, and I'm like, "What the fuck is happening, dude?" Like, it's like, I really don't wanna stay here, but, like, everything else is full, so, whatever, we're here. I was with Alex Dalton and Andre, and they were like Andre lives in Richmond, and he's like, "This is"
This
like,
is
"Whatever."
so
Yeah. Uh, I go up to the dude, and I'm like, "What's the deal?" And he's like, "Stimmies, bruh." Like, when I walk into the office and, like, since I had been there last time, they put in, like, hella fucking TV screens with, like, cameras and, like, a big bulletproof glass window for the person working, and I was like, Sick."
it's good to see y'all had a bunch of good stuff happening since I've been here last.
Yeah.
Immies, bro.
He's like, "Stimmies, bruh," and I was like, "Oh, everyone's buying
Just got
drugs and
money right now.
drugs and drugs and
I
prostitutes." Dude, it was the worst night's sleep because like, everyone was, like, super loud in all the other rooms and shit, people were, like, partying. God damn
oh, dude. Atlanta was like that when the PPP loans were happening. Everybody was just running around and leased like scat packs.
it.
Irresponsible. It was fucked up.
Yeah, I think we had, like, a bunch of that here too, where they were, like, scamming, like, people were, like, starting fake businesses and then, like, getting, like, small
It was
business, like
crazy.
yeah.
I know a few people who like made six figures scamming PPP loans like, and just got themselves a good 10-year head start.
And then
Fucking
I
Minecraft miners getting paid, dude.
Oh my god. Sometimes you're like, "Man, should I have done that?" Like
Whose desk did this come across? And he was like, "Yeah, yeah."
like,
There's somebody mining obsidian. Like, yeah.
or like, so you're telling me, like, I coulda just taken out a bunch of loans and, like, nothing bad would have happened?
I didn't have to work for 2 years. You shouldn't be.
Like, alright. But you
You
never
never know
know,
what's
like, you
gonna
never know,
happen.
then you might be the one person where they're like
Hit the red button, then what do you do? It's like, "Man, you're right. I don't have this business. Like, I'm sorry."
it's like one of those things where if so many people are being fraudulent, like, how do they even go after any one person? They're like, "Where do we start?" And there's like 10,000 people doing this.
Filter any.
And if you're in California, there's like a million people doing it. I was looking up how far Sydney was from the Gold Coast, like in Australia, because I just booked my flight, dude. I'm going to
Dude, what?
Australia in February.
Gotta tell Will, dude, he can take you streeting. He just flew back like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know how far you're gonna be from New South Wales, but from what I hear, them boys go pretty hard.
Hmm. I'm not gonna be there that long. More to be. Uh,
Just going to enjoy yourself.
no, no, I'm going for drifting. I'll talk about it more at a later date.
I'm
But I
sure
did
you're
I did just buy my flight like an hour or two ago, so I'm pretty hyped. But I was looking and I'm like, man, it's like from the Gold Coast to Sydney is like the same amount of time from like San Francisco to like San Diego.
what?
Yeah.
So it's the same time zone? Wait, that doesn't make sense.
No, like not a flight, but like if you were to drive. If you were to drive
Oh,
from
just
Gold
in
Coast to Sydney, it's like the same amount of time as if you were to drive from San Francisco to San Diego. And for
Whoa.
those who don't know, San Francisco is like probably like 2/3 of the way up in California. So like to drive all the way through California, it's like I don't know, like 14, 15 hours.
Yeah. Huh.
I was like, all right, that gives me like perspective on how big
This
Australia
is
is.
the time zone, dude.
Yeah.
Where'd y'all go for that, where's C's Garage? New Zealand?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
they're
place looks do that
outside of
place.
Auckland. It's like north. They call it like North Island. I don't know, but I'm pretty fucking excited, dude.
It's gonna be sick.
Uh,
Gotta try meat pie while you're there.
yeah.
Good.
Have you been?
What?
Have you been?
No, we have an Australian bakery like 10 minutes from me here, and I go there like once a week and stock up on them, dude, they're crazy. You want a steak and kidney meat pie. It sounds outlandish, but
I'm in, dude.
good,
Sign
good.
me up. I'm ready for a good time. I'm gonna be there for Valentine's Day, so if anyone wants to be my date,
Any Australian shorties listening, tap
yeah,
in.
dude, I'm trying to pull up on a Sheila. What up? there's probably like maybe one or two like female Australians that listen to this.
Never know, dude.
Guaranteed, 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 and with somebody anyway. Uh, I look. Trust me, I look at the stats. All right,
Thank you
this
for
is a
the breakdown,
predominantly
AJ.
male listened to podcast. Believe it or not.
Would you have like a most listened to region?
Um, yeah, Seattle.
Well,
Seattle's the
really?
biggest city. Yeah, it's like I think it's like Seattle, New York. It changes depending on where I check. So like Spotify is like Seattle, New York, LA, San Francisco, and that's like just in the US. Um, and then Tucson is on there sometimes.
What?
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Dude. And does it
Uh
like do they like push the podcast? Like I guess you know how Instagram like sometimes will put your reel like not in the algorithm, but like where people see it. Do they do the same thing like for Spotify versus like Apple Podcast?
I'm not gonna give away too much of my secret sauce, but like there's like
There is a science to it.
yeah, but you gotta like you have to know what you're doing.
Interesting.
Um
It's cool.
I didn't start doing it until like recently and it hasn't really made that much of a difference. It's all word of mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no
Um
like
it's also
business.
like if you listen to something and then like okay, this is how like the algorithms determine things, right? This is like kind of like the basic understanding. They find people who listen to like if you listen to 3 of the same thing, you're probably going to enjoy number 4. Like if this person likes number 4, be like I listen to, you know, Bob Marley, Kendrick Lamar, uh, Jimi Hendrix, right? Like if I listen to all three of those and I also listen to like Blink 182, right? Like that's not in the same category, so they might not show it to you immediately, but like um if I listen to those three, I'm having like a hard time explaining this. I don't know why. It's pretty it like categorizes things based on like people who listen to them. Like so it'll be down to like demographic. Like if you like Limp Bizkit and like
These
fucking
2 other you'll probably enjoy
you'll
this.
probably like this, and then they also use other people's like what they listen to, right? Like they're like I don't know, it's kind of like how like for a podcast, like if you listen to this podcast and that podcast and this podcast and like five people all listen to those three podcasts and two people listen to another podcast, they'll show it to the rest of the people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Interest and when they promote it, do they promote the show or an episode?
Um
Or yes to
Spotify
both?
and like Apple doesn't really like pretty much the only way that it works on the podcast stuff is like if you click on a podcast, it'll say like people who like this podcast also like this other podcast, right? Like
Yeah.
that's really the only way that it works. So like if people who are listening to this listen to Still 80 Mania, right? They're gonna show people my podcast on Still 80 Mania's like page, and they're gonna
Oh,
show
what you mean.
Still 80 Mania's podcast on my episodes and my like channel, right? That's
Mm,
kind of how it works on YouTube also, but YouTube's like more complex because they're better at like the podcast stuff is easier because it's only really like one dimensional.
yeah.
Um, it's like, do you listen to this? And like, do people you are similar to also listen to this? Then we'll show you that. Um,
Interesting.
and then yeah, YouTube's like way more complex because it's like the podcast apps and Spotify, they don't care what you're listening to, right? For like a long amount of time. Like it doesn't matter. But like YouTube, if you have a 3.5 hour video and they're like not making any money on that, and that's their, someone's just going to be only watching that and they're not going to be watching like 25 other videos in between. Would you, if you're YouTube and the way that you make money is by showing people videos with ads on them in the beginning, like, would you
It's not
rather show someone a 4-hour video with no ads on it or a video with that's 30 seconds with an ad at the beginning?
yeah.
Like, it's a no-brainer. They're just gonna feed you the like or or the video they know is gonna hit and it's gonna have like a bunch of ads in it. So like
A Mr. Beast video or a
right, exactly. Yeah.
content.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been trying to figure out the Instagram one too, and it's weird how they, like, I've noticed the same with, like, my shop page. If somebody likes a lot of the, like, Uno page, the shop page, or, like, I like a lot of the Uno page, the shop page will pop up or, like it's weird how it compiles data to think it knows what to recommend.
Yeah. Uh it's all about I don't know. I don't really know the rules. Like, I know, like, I know how Instagram works, but I, like, don't play by the rules because I don't really care. Like, I'm just gonna post shit when I wanna post it, and I think this video is cool, and I don't really care if it doesn't get, like, a lot of like, my reels will start doing really good, and then I'll post something that I know isn't gonna do well, but I like it, and then, like, it'll tank, and then I'm, like, ramps up again, and I'm like, "I don't care." Like, I'm not here to, you know
Be an influencer.
Yeah. Um, but there's tricks. It's all, like, really complicated, and I kinda hate it, to be honest. I just, like that's why the podcast was, like, so enticing because it's not like I'm not, like, fighting everybody else on YouTube. I'm just, like, putting shit out, and if people listen to it, cool, and if not,
Yeah,
whatever.
and it's, like, the coolest platform to just, like, meet and, like, just nonsense with people. Like, just
Yeah.
not
Like, I get hyped, people, like it's helping people get through their workday. Work sucks.
back.
Like
Back.
like, if I can make people's workday better, fuck yeah.
That's what's cool too. You just throw the podcast on and like let it download in the background, and then just
Yeah.
let it play.
People send me like videos of them like working like heavy, like heavy equipment. I'm like listening to the podcast. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's cool, you know?
It's like Drift Guy ASMR.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Drift guy ASMR would be like tire machines or like uh
Beats popping. 12-hour remix.
what's another good drift ASMR? Mm, I really like the sound of like the when you're using like a fuel jug and it's like that's like when it's at the
The
end
little
and you
top
can hear
things
the
open and
you can hear the fuel like finishing into the tank. That sounds fucking weird. I hope no one clips that.
pause. Oh,
Definitely not really loud tires. Those are the
I
worst.
was gonna say blow off valve, but then like imagining listen to that same noise for an extended period of time.
Yeah,
Just because like
just compressor surge. I mean that's definitely drift ASMR.
yeah, it's nice. I used to be a big blow off guy, and then I think Sebastian actually was like, dude, just take it off and like try it. And it's been like 2 years.
Yeah, I had to run one with my last turbo setup because they were like, you have to run a blow off valve. Like these turbos like absolutely hate
Really?
compressor surge. And so I did, but mine was quiet. I have a it was like a arc like it's actually really fucking cool. Like it sounds really good. It's like really mild.
What do
Uh
you have now? 550?
my turbo setup.
Yeah.
Uh I have a man fucking
Is it
pay
also you don't have
I
to,
had
you
to
don't
pay a
have
full
to.
I had to pay full price for that thing, dude. I hate like promoting fucking parts that I had to pay full price for. No, I have a Garrett G G3660.
Oh shit, you got that big one. I was gonna get
Mhm.
a 550, but then I heard that it was blowing rods out of engines because of the mid range. What do you
Um
think? Like 400 wheel, 500 wheel?
I make 400 wheel and the dyno reads low,
Like
but
400 crank,
it's
dude.
probably like closer to 420. No, it's 400. It's like 400 and I if it's way fucking faster than it was.
Because
Uh,
it's VVTi, isn't it?
yeah.
Because how long did your whatever the stock turbo CT15 or whatever last?
The
A while?
CT15B, I had it like upgraded.
Like with the metal
It's
drift
still
clip?
good. I sold it. I mean, it was like I guess it sat for a while and was like some of the it was leaking a little bit of oil. So I had to refund some money, but
I'm still on my
sorry,
first one, dude.
Squints. Uh you're on your first turbo?
Still the same like ceramic CT15 thing.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
like
ha-
12 PSI.
yeah, had I done it again, I would have just left it alone. It was like,
I'm nuts right now though.
oh, the current setup, I don't ever want to change it. It sounds so good. I just mean like like barely upgrading the stock turbo. Like
Wakes it up.
no, like I didn't know why I probably wouldn't do that again. I would probably just leave the turbo alone and turn the
Oh, you
boost
mean
up.
or instead of doing like a full big John, like just leave it how it was and push it a bit.
No, I would have skipped to what I have now instead of like spend a bunch of money making the stock turbo like a little bit better.
Yeah, guess that makes sense too. Just like the J pipe delete, the metal thing, and
I just did a bunch of weird shit. Like I drove for like 2 years I drove it with no like I deleted the drive-by-wire, but I had the stock ECU still. So I had a stock automatic ECU. I deleted drive-by-wire. I did a J-pipe delete. Um I did a bunch of dumb stuff.
stock is
And it just, like, anytime I had to learn how to, like, if I put the clutch in, I would have to hold the gas or it would die. So, like, I would have to do that and drift all the time. It was really annoying.
What?
Yeah. And then I was like, "Ah, I don't wanna." I don't know, my friends always had such a bad time with, like, tuning and standalones and all that shit, and then I was like, "You know what?" I drove my friend's, 1J FD, and it was, like, tuned, and I'm like, "This is sick, like, I want this." Like, my car is slow as fuck compared to this. And I think it was running kinda weird because all the shit that I did, but
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in that weird same, like, it's already kind of breaking shit, but it would be so cool to have it, like, the setup here is, like, there's a whole team, I guess there's a whole team, and they got pretty built one day. They're like G25 660s, like, mild cams, and they're all in that same setup, and I drove one of their cars, and like you said, it's just a totally different experience than, like, stock Jay-Z with the boost turned up a little bit, like,
yeah, Jay-Z with the right, like, turbo and manifold is just like
dude, nuts. It's
yeah.
nuts. Doesn't make
Before
sense.
I would lose all my top end because it had so much manifold pressure, it would just blow the wastegate open, and so, like, I only had, like, a certain amount of boost up to a certain point, and then it would just fall off, so it was like the
Interesting.
mid-range was crazy, it was super torquey, but I didn't have anything up top, so it was like, I don't know.
Drove kinda junk, like
Yeah.
real SR.
I love SRs, I think they drive great.
Dude, I'm a big fan. It's an entirely different animal. I'm a big fan of the Happy Foot. Giving it the blips, dude.
You can do that with Jay-Z.
Yeah, it's the Mega Square really hates it because I kinda did the same thing you did, where I've still got, like, the weird drive-by-wire, like, delete plate, but still
Mm,
a drive-by-wire throttle sensor, so my tip-in's kinda shit. So, like, it'll do it, it's just not it kinda
that's
does, like, a
not
little
happy.
die thing, yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
Link
can
fixed it. I'm interested to hear that the Link fixed it.
yeah.
You went Link, right?
Mhm. I was
So,
like,
it's like, just do it that, turbo, the manifold all at one, kinda just give it the 10 years newer upgrade. Mega Squirt's been good, though.
yeah,
Just
that's I feel like that's, like, such a love it or hate at ECU.
dude, it's really just because 'cause they're close, like, you can just call them and be like, "Hey, it's not turning on." They're like, "Oh, did you try, like, this pin on your ECM?" They always answer the most random questions.
That's dope. I love that
And
it's open source, I think that's cool.
yeah, I don't, I actually don't understand how they fit it all in, it's like it's relatively cheap. You can get a whole Mega Squirt setup for, like, 1,400 bucks with a
I
harness.
I mean, the hardware I don't think costs that much money.
It's a good point too. You get, like, a
Like, okay, so, like,
Raspberry Pi shoved in an ECU.
it's not really that far off from a Raspberry Pi. The thing controlling your engine is not that far off from a Raspberry Pi. It's just like a mechanical, like it's just a computer, right? Like, it has, like, ins and outs. Like, all
Yeah,
computers are, like, the same shit, right? Like, but it's not like a computer where you're, like, running video games on it. It's like a computer made for, like it's not that far off from, like, something that runs like a CNC or, like, like, any of those, like, robotic arms.
mm, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same concept. It has, like, analog in, it has, like, 12-volt, like, digital signals in and out. It has, like
A single USB port.
yeah, some CAN bus, which is
Yeah.
just pretty much like a serial connection. Like, it's not like world-changing electronics. Like, the computer itself is relatively cheap and probably doesn't cost very much. But, like, the software that they have to build for people to be able to, like, do all the things that they do, like, the companies that have been making ECUs have been making them for a fucking long time.
Yeah.
And, like, all the functions and features and shit and all these, like, tuning applications, like, that's where all the time and money is spent. Like,
Makes
all the
it all
IO is
worth it.
just dependent on, like, how they just add shit to the processor, but like the money like that you're paying is for that software that runs on the box and like the software that runs on your computer that allows you to like change it.
Do you have to get like a separate thing with the link, or does it come with the set to tune it?
You don't have to. Yeah, you can just download the software.
'Cause you gotta like you get the mega square, then you gotta like buy the license to tune it.
Mm.
But yeah, I guess that makes sense. It is real, dude. It's like loading up an old like PS3. You turn it on, and this old loading screen comes up. Takes a little bit. You gotta like hit it a few times, make sure the display's working. It's sick, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like the difference between a Power FC and like a Link is like the software and like probably some electrical components.
Yeah, guess what? I hear that's the sauce for the SR.
People feel that way.
No Power FC.
I mean, it's like if it works for your engine and you know someone who can tune it well, it's a great option.
Good.
If you want to troubleshoot with it, it's kind of hard, but that's that's your choice. Like
Yeah,
if you're not the type of person who's going to show up to the track with a laptop and like be able to plug in and see what it's doing, then what's the fucking point of having it?
that capability. Yeah,
Yeah.
all the CAN stuff's cool though. And does your car start with a key or is it switches?
I built my engine harness myself. I built my chassis harness myself. It's all switches.
Good. Mine's the same too. Just like a little. I had like a weird everything was catching on fire for a bit and ripped it all out. Started fresh.
Yeah, I like the first engine harness I ever built was the one that's on my car, and it's been working since
What?
2020. Yeah.
Dude, sick. Dude, and that was my least favorite part of the whole swap, honestly. Was trying to
Wiring.
figure out harnessing.
Yeah. Is your car still on a key?
No, no. Well, the you just really
You
like steering column and radio, and then everything else is switch panel.
Oh, that's sick.
Still the same like chassis harness from when it was M20. Just like reran some pins so the alternator like excites itself and
Mm.
stupid shit like that. It's really just that and starter signal.
Isn't it crazy all the shit that we have to learn just to do this?
What? It's also crazy that like Toyota just fits so good in BM. It just kind of jives.
Yeah, agreed.
It's weird the skill set that comes with this. I guess there's skill sets that come with this. Like you kind of just get a little bit of everything.
You're like, oh, all right. Um, do you ever find yourself like people ask you like, oh man, can you like help me like troubleshoot this like check engine light on my, you know, whatever car? And you're like, I mean, like I can literally like swap an engine, but like I don't really know. Yeah, like I
Probably
could
not.
try and help you, but I'm not like that. I don't know. It's like they
Like a
see you
standard.
like building fucking race cars and then they think you're like this like amazing mechanic and you can help them with their like, oh, like won't start and it's like hesitating and like going up hills and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't fucking know.
Change damn fuel filter. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, yeah, I've got. I'm like that with welding. I've got. That's like the. Hey, can you weld this for me? It's like no. You can use my welder, but
Yeah.
no.
Is it structural? Like, are you gonna die if it doesn't hold together? Because I'm not welding it.
Who's responsible in injury? Can
Yeah.
you sign the NDA?
Luckily, I had Luke weld my car back together instead of me. I was like, I don't know if this is like something I want to. I don't know if I don't know if welding my lollipop braces in the car like is something I want to do.
Dude, shout out Charles because I didn't have a clue where to start. He was like, "No, dude, we'll just goop this." I was like, "Let's go. Can I drive?" Yeah, awesome. Let's go.
At the track?
At the track. My buddy Bryson like left the day before and forgot to put the um drain plug back in his diff. So made it
Mm.
like 30 minutes from the house and broke all the welds in his diff because there was no fluid in his Navy auto. So his dad met us at the track with their like pretty badass Miller welder. and that was around the same time I hit the pole and snapped the lollipop thing, and we gooped it, man, and it held. Drove 2 more days and it held.
Oh, so
Just
this is
don't.
like this is a big like party event, like multiple
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, like, there's I guess it was 3 days, and that was, like, the big season ender, and I hit the pole 3 hours into day 1. So it was like, do I go home or just, like, figure out how to make it work? I've still got, like, a third S13 coil, a third E36 coil, and a third E30 coil, like, smashed together to make one working coilover that'll thread into the bottom and the top hat. So snap the coilover in half on the damn pole.
The shit we do to keep driving.
It's stupid.
I
It's stupid.
saw Rome and like fuck, what's that other dude's name from FD?
That drives out there with them?
Uh, I can't remember. His like E46. He's
Dylan
a,
Hughes?
I think it's a
Maybe.
Russian dude.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway,
I believe you.
him, RJ, and Rome all hit each other at Apple Valley. Like Rome broke a coilover, and then he like I can't remember what exactly he did to put it back together, but it was pretty much just locked. Like it wasn't suspension anymore.
If it works, dude, how many more
Yeah.
laps can
And I
I
was
do
like,
before it breaks again?
I think he had because he drove it there, and I was like,
Oh, no.
damn, dude, driving in and out on the dirt road with like no suspension is gonna be so rough. Like RIP the
Bouncing up
shock
and
towers.
down, dude. Oh, man, like you said, the shit we do to drive.
Or the shit that we learn to drive, like learn to do to drive. It's like, yeah, you're like at the track, you're like, well, never done this before. Guess I better figure it out.
Figure out suspension geometry. Yeah, like you said, like a little bit of tuning, like a little bit of welding. You
Yeah,
gotta learn how to drive, I guess.
yeah.
10% of everything makes 100% crash.
Dude, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why we do it, but it's so good when it's good.
Well, yeah, it's when it's good, it's really good. The rest of the time, I'd rather be racing a Spec Miata.
Did you do any like any kind of? Oh yeah, you said you did autocross beforehand. Did you do autocross like before you got a license? Were you like out with the
No, no,
family or
just when I
anything?
got the E30 fooling around a little bit.
Mm.
We did, a lot of RC stuff when I was a kid. There was like well, my dad had an on-road track near us, so I kinda, like, understood the fundamentals, and then he was always, like, from, like, the time I can remember, has had a simulator in the house and has been, like, get on the sim, like, break
Oh,
some
that's
fast
sick.
laps, like, practice, figure it out, and then drifting was like I was like, "Hey, dad, instead of going fast, like, what about going sideways?" He was like, "What? We've been spending all this time practicing lap times for you to tell me you wanna go sideways?" Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Ah, yeah, my
We
dad
race
hates
each other.
BMWs, so
Really?
yeah.
Dude, if it was up to my dad, everything would be like an E46 sedan with an S54 in it.
Mm.
Beautiful. It's really just for some reason
You're like, I'm
foreigners.
gonna put a Japanese motor in my E30, and he's like, no,
He's like, "What?"
what the fuck? And you're like, sick.
He's still to this day, dude, is very dead set that his is it was lower than mine is currently.
And you're like, no.
E30, it's like, "I don't know." He's like, "Yeah, it was stock body, talking like half a wheel." It's like, "Alright." There's no pictures of it.
I mean, that's pretty sick though.
Yeah, no, it's I wish there were some of it.
That's a pretty cool family debate.
Who's got the lower E30? My mom
Yeah.
hates talking about it, dude. She hated the car. Like, it was just the same as mine in piece of junk level, so it was always, like, breaking down, her door would whack her when she would get in.
Like, damn it, he's gonna pick me up in this. I think we can all relate.
I could yeah, dude. Mine was the 46, yeah, I think it was class. It was, like, max speeding rods and XXRs for the longest time.
Sick. Dude,
Just terrible.
Them NPRs, dude. Uh,
Dude, listen, you don't talk about a sponsor deal, you hit them up, they'll give you whatever you need.
dude.
Get the Goodest cash endorsed by Max Speeding Rods for this episode.
They don't have to. We already like talked about them, but I feel like yeah, I feel like so I'm dating now, and so I feel like I kind of it's gonna sound fucking terrible. I feel like like I feel like a single mom, and I gotta like wait to tell them like that I have kids. You know, like I have to like wait to be like, yeah, I have a bunch of like piece of shit cars, and I like crash them into my friends with each other. You know what I mean? Like
Try
you're
to
just
play
like,
it.
ah, like when do I say something? Like, do I say something?
Is she into cars?
Who?
Or like, oh, well, I guess was your ex wasn't into cars, was she?
Kinda.
Didn't
Not
like
like
didn't, like, know about it before you and, like, the "let's go to the track" thing? Like, was never at the track before you?
no,
Okay,
definitely not.
okay.
She got into like motorsports when like Drive to Survive got popular,
Okay.
and then like it was like kind of a thing, and then it was like wasn't really like like I don't know how to explain it. Like I think that she was like the like kind of bougie motorsports
Yeah.
version of cars and not
Let's go smash into each other and see who can drink the 12-pack fast.
yeah, like homoerotic fucking like dick measuring contests and who's got the lowest car and shit like that, like I don't know. I'll not me personally, I like that way better. Like I don't want to go sip fucking champagne and like talk about like
Formula 1 lap
the
time.
1971, you know, Brazilian Grand Prix where was there yeah, anyway, whatever. I don't know if they
Have you
were in
ever been
Brazil
to
at
a,
the time.
like, Formula One-ish race?
I was
DTM?
I almost went with Keisuke 86 Fighters to
What?
uh Suzuka.
That would've been nuts.
That would have been sick, but he was like prepping a car for like a Mahon day, and then also the tsunami happened, and then they compressed the race from like qualifying race to both the qualifying and race on the same day. And that was the same day we were going to Mahon, and I had to choose between going to F1 at
F4.
Suzuka
Okay.
and going to Mahon, which I had already been to like 8 times. But I was just like, I'm here with the homies. Like, I'm not gonna go like do my own thing. But if I like,
George Palmer, F1.
like, do I regret it a little bit? Yeah. Like
Okay, I
the
gotta
ticket
go.
was like 80 bucks for 3 days, like for GA.
What?
Yeah. And so like
What?
now I'm like never gonna be able to have that experience again.
They were where I was, like, looking at I really was gonna try and go this year, and Houston was, like, the bottomest ticket you could get was, like, 4 grand for the first day, and I was like, "There's no way I'm about
Yeah.
to spend 4 grand
Like
to
I'm
go to
not paying this. I don't want to see Taylor Swift or whatever. Like I just want to go watch them race.
watch racing."
Yeah. So yeah, I was like, oh, some of my coworkers were like, oh, I want to go to the Vegas one, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And I put my like $7.77 or whatever down, and then like they're like the ticket like the day the tickets came out, they were like $2,500 for like the basic
Like,
like GA standing only, and I was like, I spent $80 in Japan. Like I'm
I did
not
so much for 3 grand.
like I love that Netflix like made motorsports cool, kind of.
Yeah,
Like
to take a good swing at it.
yeah, like I don't know. It's still like also if I go on dates, I have to explain. Like if drifting does come up, I have to explain that drifting and takeovers slash sideshows are not the same thing, and they're not like from the same like path.
They're just entirely separate ways to do, like, a similar act in a vehicle, but are
Yeah.
polar opposites.
Yeah. You have, like one was, like, originated in East Oakland as a block party, and one originated in the mountains of Japan as, like, a fast racing technique,
Yeah,
and now they're
unfortunately clashing.
yeah.
Yeah, talk about weird algorithm pushes, dude. That's the other thing. Like every third scroll is like a takeover rollback clip.
It's whatever you want, it's whatever you wanna see. It's
Does that
whatever
mean
you watch.
what are you saying right
It's
now?
whatever you watch, that's the problem. I
Like, have
get
you
all
like
kinds of weird
withdrawn?
shit, I'm like, "Why are they showing me this?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just watched the whole thing." Like, this is like, I'm
I've been watching Cal do rollbacks for 3 hours.
Uh,
Oh man.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's like when do you I don't know. And to go back to my earlier point, when do you tell them? Like, when do you tell them? You're like, is this gonna be a real one? Are they gonna, like, think I'm lame? And then you have to, like, explain that you're not, like, a sideshow driver and that you take over the Bay Bridge and shit.
But now there's even more, dude. You also have to explain that you're not like a TikTok drift kid. Like it's like I just enjoy
I'm old
driving.
enough where that, like, that's not a thing.
I guess yeah, just kind of face out of there and like, oh,
Yeah.
you like got like broken heart stickers on your car?
Uh,
Gotta go.
I don't know, dude.
Oh.
To each their own, let everybody do their thing. But yeah, it's
It makes you happy. Stick it on your windshield.
there's just a lot of there's a lot of sad people with cars out there, and I hope I hope that they find
I hope they
happiness.
get happier.
Yeah, I do. Hey man, Young Lean was it Young Lean that started the Sad Boys thing?
Yeah, I have.
Do you know who Young Lean is?
Yeah, but I maybe?
Okay. Young Lean, I think he's from Sweden. He's like this rapper. I just watched a Young Lean video where there was drifting in it, and I was like, no way. I don't know why I looked up Young Lean. Anyway, Young Lean is like this dude who made like this like it's like bad good like rap, and he's like English second language, so like kind of like some of it doesn't really make sense.
Like some D Antwoord thing.
Yeah, and like the videos are like real weird. Like they're just but like when they start out, it says like sad boys and like emotional and stuff, like and that was like fuck, what year was that? That was like in the like 2009 or I don't know how long ago it was, but it was a long time ago. And that's like I think kind of
What
where
is
it
rolling
came
around?
from. It was like kind of OG like mumble rap, like Lil B and like Lil B and
We'll be like Chief Keef, dude.
yeah, Lil B, Young Lean's kind of in there too. If you'll have to look him up. Look up the early stuff. It's
Pretty slapping.
yeah. I was hanging out with my brother on Thanksgiving, and he told me that he's Eskimo Bros with Little B, little not Little B. That would be crazy. Young
Like
Lean.
bass god Lil B or like
No, he's Eskimo Bros with Young Lean. Not as cool. I just ruined that story.
it took a left.
I
It took a left. We'll just call it bass god.
don't know all the details. It was just like a comment in passing, and I was like, "What?"
He's like, yo, you will never believe this shit. You just like
I
your
mean,
trees.
like, isn't Eskimo Bros with Little B based on how
Based on
based
Lil B's lyrics.
based on his lyrics? I was watching a Lil B video 2 days ago, and my friend's just like, "The whole video is just 2 girls playing Madden in someone's dirty ass living room." And it's this video's got, like, 10 million views or whatever, and you're just like, "What the fuck?" Like, the internet's so weird.
Who produced this?
Yeah.
Yeah. What a crazy era.
Yeah.
SoundCloud.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That was everything happened in 2016, I guess, because I was also in, like, that same time
Yeah. Maybe I, like,
ish.
really Young Lean's way older than that. So is, like, Lil B.
I think I'm confusing him with, this is also gonna sound ignorant. I think I'm confusing him with Young Gravy.
Mhm.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to do some, you got me. You got me. I
Yeah.
got a little notepad over here. I'm gonna have to do some referencing after this episode.
Well, Lil B was, like, in this group called The Pack.
Which is the
You don't know yeah. So they had, like, a song you know the Vans song? "Got my Vans on, but they look like sneakers"? No?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Lil B was in that group.
What?
Yeah.
I Alright, now I gotta add that to
Yeah.
the
He was in The Pack,
the
which
pack.
that was, like yeah, like, mid-2000s, like, late 2000s, early 2010s. Wait, early t yeah.
It's
I
weird,
don't know,
like, trying to
I was, like, a
place it.
teenager when The Pack was out. There was, like they did a show and, like, a bunch of, like, Marin City, like, gangsters came and tried to fight him, and then the show, like, didn't happen.
What?
Yeah.
Some California shit.
Mhm.
I guess we got a couple sketchy venues, but there aren't that many that
This was
aren't
not
like
a sketchy venue.
they just pulled up. They just pulled up.
I was not at that show. I wasn't a fan of The Pack.
There for the rivals.
Yeah, they're too pop for me.
Not street enough.
Have you found, like I don't know, have you found, like, more people for music getting into drifting other than T-Pain out there?
I mean, I
Or is he's, like,
are you
actually
going for
taking it
music videos
seriously,
or, like, actually driving?
actually driving.
Not really. He,
Yeah.
like there was a while where he was coming to, like, every event and trying to put some laps down, and then he drove, like he didn't, like, head on, but, like, indirectly drove head on into my buddy James, and then stopped, coming in the track for a little bit, and then this whole Pickle Rick thing, I guess, has been culminating. Because
What
that car I only saw
what
in real
Pickle
life.
Rick thing?
Are you, like, looped into the T-Pain drama?
Uh-uh.
Dude, so, like, you need to if you just YouTube T-Pain GMG, there's, like, an hour it's, probably, like,
Oh, is
2
that,
hours
like, the
of
shop that
talking.
fucked him over or whatever?
Yeah, like, with the Pickle Rick car, because
Yeah.
that car came like, I watched that car get smashed in real life the first time, and then when
Shit.
George blew the engine, also in real life, and then it just disappeared for a while, and he stopped, like, coming out because the E46 was crashed from him hitting my buddy, and then I guess George was doing whatever with the pickle car. But now I guess now that it's back, he's signed up for, like, most of next year
Oh, that's
from what I
sick.
heard. So I guess he's trying to get back to seat timing.
I wonder if, like,
But there's been a
more
bunch of
people are gonna get into it because he's getting into it? Like, that's kinda what I was wondering. Like
yeah. Yeah, it's just like it's one of those things, once you get in the passenger seat, it's like, "What's going on here? Like, how are y'all doing this in a controlled manner?" And
yeah.
everybody's already into, like, most of the I guess, not that I've met that many, but most of the rappers that I've met have been, like, crazy into the drifting stuff. Like, even
Yeah.
if it's just donuts in a parking lot, it's like, "Whoa, what is this? How are y'all doing this? Like, how do we get into it?" So I guess it's just I hope so. It'd be cool. It'd be cool, like, reckoning the, like, Young Thug. The missile
He just
cars.
gets out and, like, high fives you in a
Like, that's
dress, and you're like, "Whoa."
that's what I don't know. I guess it's that weird it's sort of becoming more mainstream, so maybe.
Yeah. And it's, like it's really interesting because like, the cars in the videos are all the kinda cars that we like, like,
Yeah.
mostly. And
Which is
then
weird because it's like, it makes you wonder if they're picking them or if they've got somebody like, "Oh,
well,
these'll
you
look."
know who's, like, behind a lot of that, right?
No.
So, like, uh, there's a company called Era Picture Cars, and it's run by Sebastian and I think, like, one of his and some of his friends. I don't really know like all the details, but they're like the ones that are sourcing the cars for like a lot of these videos. And like Sebastian just has good taste. Like he knows what's cool. So
That's cool.
that's
Interesting.
why all the video cars aren't like whatever drift car they can find. It's like actually
Somebody
like
went
well
down.
styled cars.
Yeah.
Um because like yeah, you see like all these he was like he did the I think he was like one of the people who helped out with that Travis Scott video, and I think he was like a photographer, like a I don't know. I want to have him on and talk about it more in detail, but
That'd be cool.
that's
It's weird.
kind of like I think he's like the link between our world and theirs.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, there's a guy similar, I guess similar here, but it's more for the street stuff. But he just like brings rappers out for music videos, or if they want someone to do donuts around him, he like will call you. I wonder how you become that guy. Like, how do you get in that position where you just like a know the rappers and also know all of the drift guys, slash are clued up enough on social media to know what's cool. Slash is that actually just his taste being crazy?
You gotta be, yeah, I guess like right place, right time. I don't know.
Somebody calls you, it's like, hey, we need a
You're
guy.
like, oh, you have a car, and you're like, like we need a car for this video. You're like, all right, let me make some phone calls. But like, if you got the power behind it, where you're like, hey, there's a video, we like need a car or whatever, like we want to use yours. It's like, all right,
Like, cool, I wanna go.
bet. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the reason I actually like had my car painted or my kit painted was for a video, but it's not for a rap video.
Dude, we did a we did a whole I don't know how much of this I can say either. It's also weird. We did a whole street video with like no, I guess it's out already, so it couldn't have been. We were supposed to be filming a whole promo for this new Need for Speed movie, and somebody like at Need for Speed must have blackballed it because we spent like 6 hours with Justin Trevo and I filming clips, and like they just all disappeared.
Damn,
So it's like, how does it? There's that
are
weird
they
like it's
sick
getting
clips? Are you
there,
like,
but not
please,
like
Shreve,
all
let me
the
get
time.
those?
Yeah, like I know you got a video of you kicking my tie rod somewhere in the middle of Buckhead. Like it's on a hard drive. I know somebody's
Like,
got it on a hard drive.
I need this.
It's weird though. It's like only certain pieces are like allowed to mesh unless it's a takeover. It's weird. It's weird. It's
Yeah,
like I'd rather you do donuts around them than like get a
actually
clip.
drift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I guess it looks cooler on video with I don't know. Can't like have somebody in the middle of Apple Valley doing a jump. It doesn't give the same effect as like
Yeah, the track stuff doesn't like
look
mhm,
as cool.
it doesn't yeah, like like
You
if you're
don't get
watching a
that.
music video, you're like, "Oh, they went to a racetrack," like kinda
What?
like yeah, it has to be like really extreme driving, I think, and then it might work.
Mm,
But if it's just like, medium speed run up and e-brake grab on like a course, it's like but like that's
maybe
the thing, people can't like the majority of people can't tell the difference between like a fully committed entry and like
that.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy how it. I guess I guess it's just because Formula Drift is what you see. Like if you look up drifting, but like you ask somebody who doesn't really know, and it's like, oh yeah, like you need like a 2J and Wise fab and like crazy built car, and you
Yeah, which
don't.
makes me sad.
Yeah, me too. Because you don't. Like
No.
you can have so much fun for so cheap. Like just go party with your homies.
Yeah.
Get something to go drive.
It's just what this podcast says like every episode. like like go drive as much as you can with your friends. Don't worry about fucking going pro. Maybe you will eventually.
Yeah, if it does, cool. Like make a name for yourself, but still continue driving with friends. And, like,
Yeah. Even if you have really rich parents and you know that you can go pro, at least start out by having fun with your friends.
dude, there's you know, what's his name? That's gonna kill me. One of the guys that drives pro comes and drives our like grassroots events, and
Mhm.
whenever he shows up, he'll show up and like he'll wear his helmet the whole time, like skip the drivers meeting, and his car is always either something random or something like you haven't seen him drive before, and he'll just hop in and drive with whoever. God, where was I going with that?
Are the cars nice?
Sort of. Some of them are, some of them are like just sort of street car,
Uh,
but like you never know what you're getting. Damn, I can't even think of his name right. We might have to revisit that.
these there's like a lot more people to I don't know. Like there's only so many like pro spots in the US. It's really interesting. Like that number hasn't grown in the last like
Yeah.
10 years. But the amount of people who are drifting is like easily like 10 times what it was when I started.
Yeah, and the amount of people with that level of car has also gotten crazy.
I mean, that's just the progression, man. Like uh I went to FD in like 2006 at Sonoma. They used to do it. They used to run it at Sonoma. And like the cars there weren't like that built, like there's like
No.
some real middle of the mall shit, like
With a cage shoved in it for safety, like,
yeah. That's just
yeah,
that's just the progression, I guess.
just God, great.
I mean, there was like some really sick cars like shipped over from Japan and they made like good power and stuff, but like as far as like it
Most
wasn't
of it
like yeah, it wasn't like fuel cell, like surge tank, fire suppression, roll
crazy.
cage, like every control arm had gussets on it and
It just gets to, like, a point where it's like, what are we doing?
yeah.
But like you said, with it always goes back to that, like, how fast can we make it, and then the need for it not to break at that level of fast.
I
Just
heard I heard two wild things that made sense. One of them was like the RTR cars, they have full like they'll take a subframe and they'll put it on the car and they'll align it and then take it off the car and then they'll put their like the one that they're gonna use for the event on and align it front and rear. And so they'll just like if they crash, they just have a subframe to just like throw on the bottom of the car and like
crazy.
just bolt it up. And it's like faster to do that than like trying to replace like three control arms and like a knuckle or whatever. Like
Yeah.
if they have a 5 minute timeout or whatever. And then another thing they told me was or someone told me was in the rule book there's something about like this comes down to like standalones and like all the crazy shit that they're doing with those, but like having some kind of sensor. They have like essentially like a steering wheel sensor that like adjusts the tune based on like where the steering wheel is. So like if you're at full lock and like you're gonna spin out essentially, like it like pulls like the tune, and then there's also like GPS. Like they would like have different maps based on like GPS and like where the car is on the track and stuff. So they had to like outlaw that because like people were doing shit like that.
Dude, that makes you like, what do you think, if any, what do you think factory back teams would do for pro drifting? You think it would get it to that level of like, this is just unachievable for the regular person?
Dude, I'm pretty sure like well there was like a tire rule. Dude, I don't know what I'm talking about like FD. I don't really know all the fucking shit, but like apparently like at some point there was like the tire rule where the car had to weigh a certain amount to run a certain size tire, and so they like one of the teams. I think it was like one of the Mustang teams, but they like made fake like frame rails that were like super heavy or something. So like all the weight bias is like or all the weight balances at the weight that's being added is the very bottom of the car and like actually like strengthening the chassis just to get it just above to the next like tire width like
They could run a
weight
fatter
and stuff.
tire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like all this like it's like I don't know. The last comp that I showed up to, I like didn't have a spotter. I didn't bring anyone to like help me work on my car. I just showed up like it was a fucking skid pad
Just go
day.
jam, dude. Like, do
Yeah.
some follow leads. Like, if I win, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Do you guys have? I guess you guys have a local comp series, don't you?
We have there's amateur drift series, which is like they don't allow any like pro am people to run in it, but they kind of do now. I don't know. It's I think that one's been cool. That's run by like the anti-heroes dudes.
Yeah.
Um And I did the very first one, and then I didn't make it to any more because my car had issues, and then I just stopped doing them for some reason. But as far as like competitive series, there's not much. Like Julian was doing like the Super D stuff on the skid pad, which was really fun. I kind of missed those. And then like Good Luck League will do like a battle comp like once a year. And the driving at the Good Luck League battle comp this year was like, I don't know, there's a lot of good drivers there.
Really?
And the driving was like Julian got knocked out first round
Really?
by Sam. Sam
Crazy.
beat me also.
Dude, Sam, whenever we do laps on a Seto, Sam is like a computer. So I imagine in real life it's the same, but it's like, dude is
There it doesn't translate exactly, but he's getting very fast, and it's fucked up, and I need to play way more setup.
dude, every night we're on.
Yeah, I need to jam with you guys.
It's fun, dude. Just gets that muscle memory down to like, oh, I know I need to do this to get
Yeah,
that out
I
of the
just
car.
set up my sim to right hand drive.
We'll do that. Logitech,
I have a Thrustmaster I got off Craigslist like 8 years ago.
still jamming.
Yeah, my whole setup was like I think like $300 plus like the stand or whatever, and I've had it for like 8 years now.
No,
But I don't play like every day. I'll play like once or twice a week, and that's not enough.
gotta get that. Gotta get that sim time in, man.
I know. It's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, if I didn't work at home, it would be a lot easier. So like, you like sit in front of the computer all day, and you're like, you're like you're done for the day, and you're like, do I want to stay in this corner?
Sitting in front of the computer for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I was like, you know what I mean? So you're like, it's got to be like a real good session and like people on Discord to like really get me into it. Otherwise, I'm just like, I'm not gonna just go do laps.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I had a buddy, I guess, start playing a Seto first. Well, that Bryson kid started
Mhm.
playing a Seto when he was like 14 and won like our local comp series like before he had gotten his license. And his only seat time had been like a Seto and then that to translate into driving in a Miata. But like it's crazy what it does for your muscle memory and just like learning how to learn the car, like how it's gonna move.
I think one of the most important things about Assetto is like playing different cars
Yeah.
and tracks a lot. Is it like you're learning how to be adaptive?
Yeah.
That's like, oh, this car drives like way different. How do I fucking do the same thing in this car? And then when you go jump in your car that you know well, it's like, oh, like I don't have to work that hard. Like this car does exactly what I think it's gonna do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the concept of like, oh, now he can drive like any car, like broken or not kind of thing. Like it's the same thing. You're just forcing yourself like to drive different cars in a Seto or drive different tracks, and you're like teaching yourself how to like adapt quickly.
Or
Yeah. That's why I try and play like different tracks as much as I can on a Seto. Because then
same
you
here.
learn like muscle memory for like different types of corners. And
How to read a track, but without doing like a crazy side lab.
yeah, like I think that's something that my team and I are pretty good at, is like we can go somewhere and drive the track well, like
From rip.
pretty much right off the bat. Yeah, like little warm up and then find the edge of the track by flying off and then go for it.
Best way to do it.
Yeah,
You find the limit once, it's like, okay, I gotta dial it back 10%.
yeah. You're like, all right, too fast.
Too fast. We're pretty lucky. All our big road courses don't have much I guess like obstacles off the track. There's a good bit of runoff. So you can
Yeah,
go pretty hard and not worry about too much. Road course is fun.
yeah. Thunderhill has a lot of runoff, but I've started to be like, I'm like that guy that like goes off too much, and all the flaggers are like, fucking guy with the red BMW. Jeff Pitts like used to like he's like I don't think he was a manager. I don't know. I don't know what his job was, but he worked at the track, and he's like, I've been hearing on the radio all day, man. Like And I was like, I don't know. I've just been flying off. I don't know.
It's been
Sorry.
going hard. It's been going real hard.
You can't treat a full track like a skid pad and like just going as fast as possible. I mean, you
Yeah.
can, but like if you don't want to go off the track, you can't do that.
It's the double-edged sword of fiberglass, dude. One good one and it's all blown up.
Yeah, dude. That last event, my car was like, I showed up, roll it like immediately start driving. Okay, show up, misfire. Fuck. Spend like a bunch of time trying to diagnose it. Pull out the laptop, pull in logs. I'm like, oh, there's like an electrical voltage drop. Like probably some kind of ignition thing, and start pulling spark plugs. One won't come out. Like fuck. Like had tried to weld itself to the fucking head, and then I'm like out there
What?
like trying to like, dude, I was putting like probably like 100 pounds of pressure on the like
Trying to
sock,
get it
like
to break
the
loose.
yeah, I'm like this is such a bad
Oh,
idea. It came out, go back
didn't break.
out, fucking full speed, fly in, blow off the track. I went off the track so hard that when the front end hit the ground, so it was like a left-hander, and I was following my friend, and he I was playing catch up, and he went too deep, but he like dug out and then disappeared, and I was like, oh shit. So it goes like track, and then there's like a little bit of a dip, and then a hill that like starts. So like I
Oh,
I cleared the dip and just land like front wheels into the hill, and my over fenders like blew, both of them blew off and like went up super high, and I'm like fuck, front bumper destroyed, rear bumper like came off and like broke a little bit. I'm like whatever, fine, I go back to the pits. I hit the front wheels so hard that my adapters, it pulled the studs, like
what?
it sat the studs even further into the adapters.
Oh,
Every single
what?
stud. Like there was like aluminum, like the knurled end, like had come out just a little bit further on all of them, and it like loosened my lug nuts on both sides.
What?
Yeah,
Just from whacking it so hard.
yeah,
That's crazy. That track looks fast, dude.
yeah,
That track looks really fast.
yeah. And then later in the day, everyone was like hyping me up, standing on like the pit wall, and like I was throwing backies, and then I fucking destroyed my car. So,
Which how's SLR?
um, I mean it's good. Julian's gonna be making heat maker stuff. Julian and Luke are like when they have time.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Julian's like always got something going on, and then like Luke's been pretty busy lately too. So like I think they're getting close, but I'm really excited to like rep my friend's stuff. Like
Yeah.
SLR is good, and like I've had like some issues. I haven't really gotten like I have definitely haven't gotten like a hookup from them at all ever. Uh just want to put
Retail
that out there.
from Rip.
Yeah, let them. Yeah, Sean Love, what up, dude? Do you know how many people have asked me what angle kit I have?
You know how many people I've said to you, "Send me something."
Yeah.
Oh,
Out here
man.
sponsoring fucking random pro-am drivers that never mind. Anyway, like
You just put, like, a nice little driver's proposal with, like, your face next to the Goodest guy slogan and be like, "Hi, my name's Bomber, send me shit."
no, I don't want to be that guy. Like I'll buy your shit. It's decent stuff. Like
Yeah,
it works. Like but like at the same time, I don't know. If I send you like a lot of people, like
full back end. Full back
yeah.
end.
No, I mean like I don't want money. Like just help me out. Like if my
I
fucking
mean, yeah.
shit breaks, like don't make me like buy new anyway, whatever. Damn. If
Yeah.
okay, if it's my fault that I broke it, like I'll buy another one. But I had some stuff anyway. I don't want to fucking.
Dig a hole.
I had some welds not so happy on my control arms, and it caused some problems. And I would have liked to had a different outcome, but that's life. That's the game, as they say.
Damn. Yeah, I've been trying to. I don't know. It's like stock's enough ish, but
Do you not have an angle kit?
no, dude. It's just stock, and then the Denofa tie rods,
Huh.
but like stock E30 everything, and then just a bunch of front pressure.
Oh, you're one of those. Just scrub the front.
AT my rear 50 front, baby, on some like 300 trimmer all seasons.
Oh, so you're just like you're just dead. Okay, so like I have a question. Do you do a lot of like straight line to flick entries?
Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah.
I found that that was like the only time where you really need a lot of front grip is when you have a lot of rear grip and you're going into like a straight line entry and you want to like load up and flick the car.
Well, that
Um,
I guess I've never considered that because my car doesn't really load up and flick nicely.
hmm,
But like
that
it
might be why.
once you flick it, it's nice. But
Right.
getting it to flick is like you gotta really give it a huck. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But then I'm gonna have to do angle. I think if I do grippy fronts, because even when I lower my fronts, like really
It
below
wants to
40,
spin.
it just wants to spin. Like it just really wants to spin. And it's
Yeah.
like how do you angle like I just need to do the turbo, and then it's
Do
like I
angle, dude. You're ready.
S chassis. Just like it's good how it is. I'm gonna just leave it.
You don't
I'm
know what you're
afraid I'm gonna put
missing.
angle on and hate it, dude, and just be like the slowest person on earth.
Nah, you won't be because you learned how to drive with momentum. It doesn't go away once you get angle.
It's just more of a in case that you need it, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
There's a
excited.
guy that I'm not like the biggest fan of, but he did say something really funny one time. He's like, he's like drifting with knuckles. Drifting with knuckles is like having sex without a condom for the first time. It's like all you've ever had is like condom sex, and then you like have no
A
condom
whole new
sex for the first
universe.
time. Yeah,
We're getting there, dude. Yeah, I've never, I guess I drove a Wise Fab car, but it was like a stock
that's not a good. Yeah,
EP25. It
that's
felt
not
like
a good example.
grabbing a piece of lettuce. Other than that, I've never
Y-
drifted anything else.
You can run like yeah, you can run like a decent setup like and have it feel like it probably does now, just with more lock.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. 'Cause that's the only thing really is like I did a couple laps with Jack, and it's like I don't know how he snaps to angle so fast and just doesn't spin,
'Cause he has
but
angle. Well, and you're front rack too, so you can, like you can have so much angle.
yeah,
It doesn't
dude.
over center. Front rack doesn't over center,
Okay.
which
And
is
do you have to run what tie rods do you run? SLR tie rods?
nah, I run E90 tie
Okay.
rods.
Yeah. Just to make up for the length, I guess.
Yeah, I have extended control arms.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I can try it. It looks cool. Like it always looks cool when you're like mega huck and the wheels are full crank.
Yeah. Also, like, that's, like, a thing that I don't know if you haven't gotten to do yet is pretty fucking fun. Like, it's the
I
best.
could do it like on a Seto pretty sick, but my car, like it just kind of bounces off lock stops as soon as you get there, and then you just do this weird like float dance.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, like, I don't know, as you add rear grip, you will need to have front grip to be able to load the car up and like really flick it. I
Okay.
mean, you could do it without like I know Denofa did that video where he like put the fucking space
Donut
saver
or
spares up
whatever.
front, but it's like, yeah, of course you can fly in and pull the e-brake with fucking donut tires up front and then floor it. Like those at that point you're just steering like it's not going to push. But if like you have the rear gripped up and you want to like really load the rear and flick the car in, like
Need to have some front
you
grip.
and if you don't have front grip, you gotta fucking commit.
That's how
Like,
it is now, dude. It looks like
yeah.
I'm like punching somebody in my driver's seat when I flick my car. It's like full tilt, and there's got to be two clutch kicks. One clutch kick, like if I just paint and clutch kick, it doesn't do it.
Yeah,
But I've also, are you on a welded or are you still stock BMLSD?
welded.
I'm still on the stock
That
E30 with two
that
more
does
clutch.
help too.
But it help or doesn't help?
I think it helps because it's not gonna push, like, you can, like, let off and
It'll stay doing
yeah.
its thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's weird. There's a bunch of ways to set up a car. So many different, like you said, just how you drive it.
Yeah, my car is way d I, like, took a ton of caster out of it, and it feels really weird, but it's so much snappier, and so I'm like, "Okay, I gotta find, like, a good middle ground because right now I like it, but there's, like, things about it that I don't like 100%.
Unbelievably snappy.
It's not snappy in, like, the way that I want it to be snappy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, I'm there with the two different coilovers right now. To the left, it feels great. To the right, it's like, oh god, some crazy shit going on. Dude, it flicks so fast. Flicks
isn't it
so
great how, like, her cars just look like we would have them really well set up, and we're just
fast. Just driving around the dumbest issues, man.
yeah,
Always. That's what else I'm kinda gassed about is like you said, like the whole idea of getting good in a poorly set up car and then going to a set up car and just being dialed.
yeah,
It'll be cool to just, like, finally have adjustable rear suspension and, like, you set
yeah,
a little angle to throw at it where I can like, "Oh, shit, this is cool."
yeah. I mean, I think you'll love the S chassis. I think there are things about it that you might not like quite as much, but I mean, it's a great platform, right? Like, they're all like, we've determined what platforms are good at this point in drifting. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty, like, easy to tell, like, what works.
What works.
Yeah.
Dude, the BM mechanical grip, though, is good. Is re
On
I mean, just in general, like, I've only done, a couple events in my 46, but, like, that car stock is faster than the E30 fully set up, and
oh,
it's
yeah,
just
I'm
like
sure.
stocky 46 M3, like, coilovers, no angle, like, it's just fast, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sure your car's the same, or it just makes so much side bite.
It's really fast. Yeah, it's kinda cheat codes.
The E30's got that same, like, weird rear squat that just makes it nuts fast. Do you
Yeah,
run your rear bar hooked up?
yeah.
Okay, maybe I need to try that because I have mine unhooked too.
I have front and rear soy bars.
I've got my front well, I have my front hooked up till I whack the pole, but I've been running it this is the stock thickness front one, or you got, like, a thick boy up there?
I I have a thick front sway bar, and I have an adjustable in the rear.
Maybe I need to try that to try and counter the Jay-Z weight a bit because you can still definitely tell that it's, like, got a Jay-Z in it when you flick it.
I run like a 10K front spring, and I run a 5K rear with a true coilover setup in the back. I think it's obviously very different for your setup, but I went up like to 10K in the front once I put the Jay Z in there.
I think I'm 8K, 6K said Mac. I might need to try that and try
That
cranking it
helps a
down.
lot
Just go
because
up
it's
in
a lot
strength
less like divey in the front. I don't
because
know.
of space.
I'll dude throw some. Well, I mean, I think the how much less does the E30 weigh than the
It can't be much, dude. It's a it's a big old unit.
yeah
It's a big old unit. It's all metal.
yeah.
And the motor, I mean, it's the same. I don't know how much. Oh, you have an EVTI too, so it's gotta be the same.
Hmm. Yeah, throw some 10K springs, get yourself an angle kit. I'm telling you, you're gonna like fall in love again.
Be into it. I'm interested. Definitely interested. The SR thing's got me. Dude, I've ordered the wrong bearings for this SR 3 times. I'm so over SR20, dude. It's not even in the car yet, and I'm over it
Yeah, it'll be sick at some point.
at some point. Will it be Jay-Z sick, though? The age-old debate.
A good SR and an S chassis is really fucking good.
Really?
Yeah, it's
It's always
like it's like I don't know if you wanna know what it felt like to drift in Japan in like the 2000s. That's what it feels like.
stockish SR in an S chassis, nothing too crazy.
Yeah,
It'll be worth it. They're cool, dude.
but
Drifting's
definitely definitely do some little tweaks on the E30, man. I think it's also like a very unique car. You like stand out a lot with it.
That's what's cool, is
Yeah.
it kinda gets a little bit of media love.
Yeah. Well, it's our it's like our it's a unique car and then you made it like very unique.
Got me really thinking about this angle thing. You got me, and do you have the Ultra Kit or the normal one?
I have like the I have like the least aggressive wider one.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty much like E46 length.
Because I think the only way I could change my knuckle is I'd have to cut my coilovers off because you have to, like, weld them to the knuckle. So I don't know if that would be easier than just getting the SLR thing, trying it, and if I hate it, cutting it off and trying to make a E30. 'Cause I know you can make E36 knuckles work on the E30s.
Yeah, just get I mean it's some yeah, you just get the bolt on shit and try it and if you hate it then take it off. Yeah. I doubt I mean the only like annoying thing is gonna be like you're gonna like hit stuff with your wheels and you're gonna have to clearance it. But they have like you can just get like some kind of stopper. They have like rack stoppers or whatever, like
And how wide are your fronts?
nines.
Like, ones, or they gotta be skinny, skinny?
I run a 235, but I'm not as low as you up front, I don't think. I'm a 17 by 9 set like my offset is it's like 17 by 9. I want to say right now it's like 17 by 9 0 with a 235 40
How wide are
17. My tires?
your front fenders? Are they 50 mil or just
I
30?
think they're 30s.
I think I've got okay, then that would make sense because I'm like 17.9 and it's like minus 40, I think, with spacer right now. So I could just go to, like, what you've got, and then
And
it'd
take the
be
spacer
down
off.
0, yeah, and just take the big
Honestly, I know like yeah, I know like big scrub is like really popular with S chassis, but I personally don't think it does the same thing.
on
Um
the vehicles.
yeah, like just based off my experience with it, it like does it makes the steering a lot lighter. Um I kind of want to experiment with it a bit, but like we just don't have the space up there to run big scrub. Like
Yeah,
we just
it
don't
hits I
have
mean, even now it hits everything.
yeah. So like the goal of the big scrub is like pull caster out and then you have pull caster out, add scrub, and then the car jacks like so like turn the wheel, it puts all the
Yeah,
weight on the rear, right? So that's the concept behind it. And then also like the scrub is to make the steering lighter or like essentially like and bring back the auto steer that you lose from taking the caster out.
okay.
Um, but I don't know if it works the same on the BMWs. And also like we don't need to do that quite as much because like the way that our rear suspension is set up, it doesn't it doesn't tow out as it comes in and weird shit like that.
I'd be interested to see, in my current state, if my car can keep up with your car on, like, 235s. So I don't think so.
No.
I like really lose my limit with, like, 350 SR car, and then it just goes sort of gets gapped.
My yeah, my car is like pretty fast.
It looks nuts.
Yeah.
If it's anything like the Assetto version, it's nuts because the Assetto car drives crazy, which is also crazy. How cool is it that we can just, like, have our cars
Yeah. Shout out
like,
dad stuff.
so cool, dude. There's no I can't break that one.
Yeah.
Just try
I
to
need to like remind people I did the competition like thing and then I haven't posted about it in a while, so I should probably like remind people that
You
it's
need to,
still
like, just
happening.
next time you're bored, search the Assetto, like, servers because you can filter the cars and just, like, filter your car, and there's, like, 5 or 6 servers that are up with your car,
Yeah, it was pretty
and
cool.
people trying to get clips pretty much every time I'm on Assetto.
Oh, that's sick. All right. Maybe people are just gonna submit like at the end. They're just gonna submit their most fire shit.
Some crazy flooded like
Yeah. I got, like, quite a few submissions, but I, like, really wanna do something cool and, like, have people, like, I wanna do, like, a live thing with people and we'll, like, pull them up and judge it. That was, like, the concept.
that would
And
be
be
cool.
like,
Like
go through everybody's clips and be like, "This one, this one."
set up the room to be like a little judging panel.
Yeah, just
Little number you hold
10.
up. That'd be sick, dude.
Yeah, I got some ideas. Just time.
Yeah, it's all this time. Not enough of it in a day, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to do with this S chassis that I got because it's, like, pretty rusty in some spots, and, like, I don't know, like, how bad it is.
We're on it, call it a day, man.
Put what on it?
Some rust converter.
Mhm. I'm worried. I have some concerns based on some stuff that I saw last time I went and looked at it, but I need to figure it out. I don't know.
What, just make it a seat time car?
It'll never be a street car based on what I've seen.
What's gotta be removed for rust repair?
Yeah. So yeah, it'll definitely be like a fun car. I It's like I don't know. It's like one of those things where like I'm like I want another car to work on and then I ended up with like 3 in the same like 2 months because they were all like things that I'd been talking about for like a real or 2 of them. One it was like I got that GC8 2.5 RS for my friend because he was like, I'm gonna sell this to you for cheap because it's like, not passing emissions and blah blah blah. And I'm like, all right. And then that took like a year and a half to end up happening. And then Sam was the one that actually gave me the S13 shell because he wants me to drive a cool car, fucking asshole. And then
Oh,
so he gave
shit.
me a hatch. I want a coupe, dude. Just kidding. Beggars can't be choosers.
Just
Uh,
weird.
yeah, I'm definitely not gonna talk shit on a free chassis.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What about that 36? Didn't you have a 36 you were making a street car?
Yeah. So I got to figure that thing out. And then I'm like, all right, what are we doing here? Like,
Gotta, like, get a whiteboard for the project.
yeah, I'm like, I gotta,
Get it all organized. It's too much.
yeah. So what? No, something's gonna be for sale at some point. You can't have too many cars. It's like I
It
got too
becomes
much other shit going on.
yeah, yeah, it becomes unfun. And it's like, what do you keep? I
Then I
sorted
can't.
this wired a bunch of shells and they just kinda sit in my backyard. I just have, like, a little collection of, like, "Yeah, I'll get to it one day." I feel like an old like a 50s sitting in the back, like,
Sick.
one day we'll get there.
Yeah. It's like I don't know. I feel like okay, so like people who went through like the depression, like don't throw shit out, or they just like fix everything themselves. I feel
Yeah.
like we went through like the fucking like JDM car, like JDM fucking
Right.
price depression, where like everything just like doubled or tripled, and you're just like fuck. And now
Yes.
no one
And it's
wants to
like
sell anything, and we're just like anything you get, you're like mine.
or you can sell to make a come up, but then it's like, sh what do you find another one? Like, it
Yeah,
it's like
you can sell
crazy
it,
to
make a
go
bunch of
through.
money, and then you're like, "Now what do I buy?" Like, I'm gonna
Yeah,
buy some, like, super expensive marked up bullshit. You're like,
new GT86.
yeah,
Crazy. What do you think about those? Do you think those are gonna get popular? I mean, there's a few
yeah.
people playing with them, but
Everyone I know who I've talked to about who's driven one says they're great.
really?
Yeah. You saw Naoki got one.
What? No, I didn't.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
That's crazy. I guess they're running out of I
Which
mean,
is
there's only
like,
so
"Hey,
many SRTs.
man, I thought you're Nissan ride or die. What is this? First you
You
buy a
took the
JZX
Toyota
and"
check. You trying to
yeah.
get the Toyota Gazoo check. Then you
He wants
saw
that
Crash
factory
Live on.
sponsorship. Trying to
Yeah,
get
true.
big money. I don't know.
It's
I
cool that it's getting to that level though, where like it's allowed people like Daigo to make like Fat Five land and like an empire out of
I
crashing into your buds.
I think Daigo's already really rich.
Yeah,
I hate to break it to you, but
that ain't that Toyota money.
no. No, you don't see Kangushi with the fucking
You don't see Ken Gucci with a fat thigh
drift
bone.
Lamborghini. Yeah. It's like, I'll just buy it. It's fine.
That was that weird era too. It was like him and Daigo did that Lamborghini, and that other guy from the UK did that like R35 when the R35 came out. They did that monster promo,
Yeah.
like $1 million in drift car. Crazy thing about all the eras, dude. There's like the weird Gymkhana ones, then it was like that. Just goes through these different levels, different
Yeah.
phases.
I still remember when like drift drift event videos were like the thing. Like you'd be like, "Oh, this event was sick," and then like someone would make an edit, and like the song they pick was like really important.
Yeah.
It was like pretty much like a it was, and now it's like people don't really like do those. It's like more vlogging.
Yeah. Yeah,
But yeah,
or
like
like the reels have made everything very short versus like your traditional get all the
yeah,
B-roll, like kind of see everybody wrenching.
yeah, you're either blogging or you're making reels or TikToks, like quick
Yeah.
edit shit. But like honestly, I really like Flash VM. Shout out, wearing a fucking
Shout out Flash VM.
yeah. Welcome to
Dude,
Flash
those
VM.
old what was that guy's channel? Thank you for drifting. What did it used to be called? Alex
Uh,
Alex something films?
Alex Dalton,
Yeah, 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 yeah. His
Alex
videos were
Dalton
always
Media.
sick.
Yeah,
Like the old Two Shanes recaps were always sick.
yeah,
They were like actual cinematics versus like your 30-second everything's
yeah.
happening at
SC
once.
Films, the dude from Japan that
Uh,
like came and shot the like did like the
you a
um
whole bunch of crazy media guys that's super geek.
I mean, yeah, they all like all like all those like all the people doing all like big stuff all did like drift videos back in the day.
It's funny where it all started. Figure it all out, then it just gets bigger and bigger. And
Yeah. I never did like good event edits because I never filmed like good enough clips.
dude, big into the stabilizer button, big into the stabilizer button, and like throw some cheap beef open on an edit, dude.
I definitely like the quick edits. I like that shit. It's fun.
Good fun.
But
It
yeah,
makes
like
it.
yeah, we're in the TikTok reel. We're in the minute 30-second edit days and
Right now, yeah.
and
Everything's
vlogging.
too expensive,
I
and it's
kind of
just
like I kind of like reels. I like the edited reels, like the stuff that like Aaron's doing and like Crash Style and like you guys like that like funny B-roll drifting clip like just a like quick hit
yeah,
like in your face like drift edits. Like I actually really enjoy those.
they're good fun, dude. It makes it seem, I don't know, it feels like those old, like, you ever watch any of the stuff Zed Powell puts out, like, from
Mm,
snowboarding? But
mm.
it's, like, very similar, and, like, the old Thrasher videos are just, like it feels like an old
Yeah,
skate,
yeah, yeah.
like,
Yeah.
everybody's just doing a big bash.
Yeah. It's like don't it's like very like don't take it seriously.
Yeah,
That's what I like.
the vibes, dude. Yeah, that this year, that was the I think we did more wrecking than this year than we have
Yeah.
ever, honestly. It's always with randoms. It's always behind. We do that last lap.
Never take a last lap.
Never take the last lap. Just get off track.
Yeah.
Get off track.
I did I that's when I destroyed my car last time. I was like, "Oh, I'll do one more." No.
No, put in the trailer.
Uh, whatever, it's fixed
Something
now.
goes wrong.
What do you think like the next what do you think like the next trend in drifting is that people don't know about yet? That's like coming.
Dude, I think we're gonna hit like a crazy missile crisis soon,
Huh. All right.
where like all that's left is like cheap junk beat like KA cars that are just gonna be straight piped and thrashed.
VQ fucking like
Yeah, or that, or somebody's gonna figure out how to make those sound good and turn them into the next like 240s. That's really all they need. They just sound like junk, but like
yeah. Hey man, I don't know if you ever heard of Straight Pipe KA, but I don't know what I'd rather listen to, VQ or
dude,
Straight
they're
Pipe KA.
so loud.
Yeah.
They're so loud.
Yeah.
I actually don't get it. It's just truck motor.
Yeah.
How do you get a truck motor to make that noise? 3-inch pipe.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I hope it goes back to, like, to just everybody driving again. I feel like that's kinda where it was a few years ago, was, like, the cars didn't matter as much, but it was, like, just go drive hard. Now it's kinda gone back to, like, the build the car first, then drive.
Yeah, it definitely goes in waves.
It's weird. It's like those 2 kinda just bounce back and forth. But I guess that's just also with, like, with everything going on, there hasn't been a Super D in a little bit. So you kinda just have, like, that weird, not weird, that final bout aura, like, of, like, get the prettiest car to go drive, versus Super D, I feel like, is let's go hard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see like yeah.
Where does it go from here?
Yeah.
Does it get better? Does it get worse?
I mean, I'm gonna keep doing me. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Like
Yeah.
I'm enjoying myself. And like
So that's
I think like it's one of those things where like not everyone cares about aesthetics. Not everyone's good at aesthetics. Like it's hard to make things look good. It takes like a lot of like I don't want to say effort, but like some, like there's a reason there's like people who have like design jobs and there's a reason people like are accountants, like
yeah.
and maybe an accountant is like really good at interior design or whatever, but like you know what I mean? I just not everyone's going to be like the best at like styling cars. They're just going to do it the way they think it looks cool and that like it is what it is. And as long as they're like at the track having fun,
Then that's, yeah,
they'll do their
ultimately.
thing. But like you can't like expect everyone to be like good at having like a very specific aesthetic and attention to detail. Like it's
Yeah.
just not realistic. Like
No, especially with how, really just how rare shit's got. It's like you
yeah.
can't get this crazy. I mean, you can still do those crazy builds, but you either have parts you've been sitting on forever, or just wanna drive.
Yeah.
You just wanna drive.
Like
Yeah.
what? Yeah, what are you supposed to do at that point?
And then I guess people are making new stuff, but it doesn't have that same, like, old, this probably came from someone's car off Japan that did 100,000,000 laps,
Yeah.
and it's being recycled for this, like,
Yeah. I mean, I would love like in my street car, I would like love some defies, but it's like seven
how
hundred
much do you want the
dollars,
depth?
like
Yeah, dude.
$700, like
Crazy. I used to
come
be
on,
such an
man.
advocate of the Hitman wheels, and then it was the same, dude. It was like, "I'm not paying 2 stacks for a steering wheel." Like, you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
Out of your mind.
Yeah.
But it's also, like you say, people just would go back to doing what they enjoy versus, like, doing what will get the most interaction or make people think they got a sick build. Just build what's sick.
Yeah. Do what makes you happy, as long as you're not hurting anybody else.
Exactly, like, just do what you wanna do and enjoy it. Don't go to a takeover.
Like I said, do whatever makes you happy as long as you're not hurting anybody else.
Oh.
What are we gonna just anytime anyone says takeover or sideshow, the thing that my mind immediately goes to is the dude that gets like run over and it like rips his pants off. Like it rips his pants down and he like gets up like running with his like pants around his ankles. Like
The epitome of that whole
it's just
yes.
like it's just like he's fine and you're like I didn't know that you could run somebody over like that and they could get up and run away. Like I
I just
always
want to
assumed
be okay, dude.
they would be like way more hurt than that, right? Like I
It's
didn't
a whole car running over you, dude.
yeah, with the like tires spinning and they're hot and like rip like I'm sure probably third degree burns like on the back of the leg, But like I would have expected like the leg to fucking blow up or some shit. I don't know. I don't know what I'm expecting. But
So
I've learned that like humans are pretty fucking sturdy, dude. Like watching some of those videos, you're like, damn, like you
nuts.
could really get hit by a quarter panel and like get up and walk away. I don't know how drunk you have to be to have that
Yeah.
happen.
Say that or just like real adrenaline pumped in the next like 3 hours just sucked. Like I just got whacked by a Mustang. Get back or get smacked, I guess.
Yeah, that's what they say.
That's what they say.
Deep down, I really do want to like hit a rollback in the pit.
Different. It's different. It's different. Private rollback.
Do it for the kids.
Do it for the kids. Dude, my neighbor's really into sitting burnouts, and like she just got this. Like, you know when you say like Ford Mustang, like the one that had like the saline that from like 2004, every middle aged man drives. Loves doing burnouts. It's like new favorite thing. It's like 4 or 5 a week, dude, on the ring, like just letting her eat. I don't know if she wants me to go outside and like give him a thumbs up or like what the deal is, dude, but like really lets it eat. And I just try and like park the cool shit inside. Like not inside it, but it's just all the time. Feel like such a boomer, dude. I'm like, get off my lawn.
You're like I'm gonna go I'm gonna go to these streets in the middle of the night, but like my neighborhood.
Don't even consider it. I moved to the sticks for a reason. Do y'all have like pretty serious HOA there?
uh, I live in San Francisco, so I have like an apartment. I one of the, like I don't know. I feel like this is the first place in the city that I lived where I can probably get away with like doing car stuff. Like I installed a stereo in the parking lot of the apartment building, and like one of the maintenance guys was like, you know, because I'm like I used to be a car audio installer, so I was just done. He's just like
Sick.
he doesn't speak English.
Or
He just gave me
dude,
the nod.
you gave me the nod, the thumbs up. Cool
Yeah,
car, man.
yeah. Gave me
Right?
the I got the respect. There's something that's more important. uh, but yeah, like it depends on where you live. There's not like a ton of HOA in Northern California because there's not like a lot like the Bay Area. There's not like a lot of new
House.
builds. There's not a lot
House.
of new houses, all old. And like HOA. My mom's place in Arizona has HOA, but like everything has HOA out there.
Yeah. So
And
most of it around me is too. I mean, I guess except for where I'm at now, but it's like every other new construction is like crazy. You all need to have the same shutters and like put your garbage can around
yeah,
the.
yeah,
It's
that's the
just real.
mob, dude.
It
Like
is. It's nuts.
they're like,
It's
and
nuts.
like if you don't pay us, like we're gonna take your house.
Oh my
And you're
god.
like, what?
Yeah.
They're like, if you don't mow your lawn, we're gonna take your house. And you're like, what? I pay you and you're gonna take my house if I don't mow my lawn. I gotta paint my house. I have to pay my house. I pay you to tell me I have to pay my house.
That's what it boils down to. And like
And
a
there's
buy.
I don't have an option into this thing or not. Like
You say no, we take your plot plan.
to like, uh, okay.
It's always not like outlandish guy running it too. It's just
Yeah, of
no fun.
course.
No fun.
Sorry if you love HOAs. I don't think anyone that listens to this likes HOAs.
Sorry if you're a big HOA guy.
If you don't know what a HOA is because you're listening internationally, it's called the Homeowners Association. And I'm sure they have some kind of fucking racket like it wherever you live. But
Dude,
what they
Will's telling
do
me that.
is you buy a house and then they say, okay, because you're buying a house in this neighborhood, we're gonna like trim the trees and shit sometimes and whatever, but you gotta pay us monthly. And then if anyone else complains about you in the neighborhood, then we like write you a letter. And if you don't like take care of whatever the thing that they're complaining about is, as long as it's under the dude, I read the whole HOA like thing for my mom's house.
Agreement form.
It was like 40 pages, and I was like, I was like, I got to like the end and I was like, you can do what? Like over this? Like it's just like it's fucking insane. Like they have written so much crazy shit into there and you like have to sign it. You have like no choice.
Yeah, dude. And then,
And if
like you said, if not, it's like, oh well, like you literally can't live here. Just
they can literally take your house. They can like
yeah,
take like if you don't pay HOA or if you like start breaking the rules of the HOA, they can take your house. It's insane. It's great if you hate everyone and want everyone's house around you to look perfect.
exactly the same. Yeah, like just very
Yeah.
cookie cutter.
Yeah. Like if you're like
No cars
old
in the
and you like don't want to have to like confront your neighbors about like
driveway. You just
things.
want a letter to solve your problems instead of having to actually speak to anybody face to
Yeah.
face at
It's great.
HOA. Yeah,
It's very great.
scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. Dude, that what do you think about also sort of left field EV drift cars? You think that's gonna go anywhere ever, or are they gonna have to reinvent the battery?
I think like okay, so you watch like the Hoonigan fucking Electricana or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah,
Jim Electric.
yeah,
Uh
Jim that's plugged in.
yeah. Like, you can kinda tell that he could just floor it and that, like, the wheel speed goes to, like, 100
Yeah,
when they're going, like, nowhere.
more than actually.
Yeah, so, like, you don't really have, like, a limiter, so, like, you have to, like, really be careful with your, like, throttle control, and I think grip is found in gearing, like, in
Yeah,
drifting. Like, if
yeah,
you just have, like, like, that's kind of the thing with some of the FD cars, like, that have, like, a ton of torque where they can just, like, spin, like, instant torque and just like an electric motor, they can, like, fucking put the foot down and it just, like, blows the tires off the car, like, it's smoky, but it doesn't, like, go anywhere because it's not, like,
yeah.
gaining traction. I think that's, like, the thing that we're gonna have to figure out is, like, how do we have, like, variable torque based on, like, vehicle speed? Not
Yeah,
wheel speed, but vehicle speed.
just a
Or
bunch of like just
maybe
doing it.
wheel speed, I don't know, but, like, something like, you can't just, like, put it to the floor and have the motor go to, like, a million or 20,000 RPM or whatever and like spin the tires at like 150 miles an hour from standstill. Like the tires will never last.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, how long do you get out of a battery?
like e-brakes
Really?
work. You can do like an e-brake. That's cool. I was
It's
like wondering how that works. I was like, does it just like stop the motor or whatever? And they're like, yeah,
really?
cool.
There's no like trans clutch thing? It just like
Yeah.
it's like hitting the forward
Like I
clutch on a
mean,
right.
if you floor it and like hold it, you're gonna blow some shit up for sure. Probably the brakes, honestly.
Experience. I've seen people.
Some in the driveline's gonna fail.
Yeah. I think
Um,
someone eventually will figure out how to like recad a whole like SR/JZ engine and like make a new block.
yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, people still ride horses.
Yeah. There's
That's gonna be
yeah.
us.
There's running the 85 across the border.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, you have a fucking oh, you got a trailer so you can, like, bring your fucking novelty car places, you fucking affluent asshole."
I mean, that's what it's getting. Dude. You gotta have a truck, but you gotta have a trailer, like you say. It's not like you can bomb to the event anymore. Like
Yeah,
makes me feel old. Me and my combustion engine.
yeah,
Back
back in
in
my
my
day, we used to drive around,
we had gas on the pump.
every car was making yeah, you'd pull up, get flammable liquid into your car,
Pumped into your vehicle.
and then you literally drive around as like explosions are happening in the front of the car.
Oh man.
Little controlled explosions.
Yeah. Just a bunch of 'em. Makes you go though. And then it's funny though. It's like it's you get to that point where it's like what you say like back in the good old days. Like you always heard your parents say it. Now it's like when were they? Like, did it happen already? Are we in them right now?
Yeah. I mean, like,
What are the good old days?
I feel like 70s van culture would have been pretty cool to be a part of. Like,
Or like they like there in the late '90s, like seeing everything like unfold and people like for the first time really figuring it out, like how to make shit fast.
yeah.
Like just like how to set cars up properly. Like there was some guy with a drill. I'm sure it's just drilling holes in places and like figuring out how adjustments change things, dude. Like
Yeah.
oh, move knuckle. It's good.
Like, huh, if I can turn more, I won't spin out as much.
How do I make it
Who
turn
do you think
more?
the first person who made steering knuckles was?
Dude, I bet you somebody who was
Somebody has to know who the first person was like, I look at this thing, I fucking shorten the steering and turns
what
more.
is watch this? The wheels just at like 70 in lock.
Someone's gotta know.
How do you yeah. How many broke before it held? And like you figured out how to weld that knuckle on? Like how many times you pull out of the driveway and your whole knuckle comes snapping off?
I mean, definitely someone in Japan was the first person to make knuckles.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
You imagine what the jig looked like? Was there a jig then?
Oh
Is it
no,
was
no,
it
they
the
just
jig or the
chop
knuckle? What came first, dude, the jig or the knuckle?
chop and weld for sure.
Hey, hold this.
I'd like yeah, Japan did rear mount radiator first too in drifting. They did like a bunch of like wild shit and then they like went back and they're like, fuck it, it's too much work.
Doesn't really make any sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get like 2 degrees out of this $3,000 worth of hoses.
Yeah, drifting's stupid.
And what I don't even know what you can say to get into anymore that's, like, reasonably fun. All the go-kart places around me closed.
Really?
Yeah, dude, we used to have, like, 3 cool spots, and now you can, like, go shifter kart racing, and that's it.
Mm,
You gotta, like, bring your own shifter cart, and I don't have a shifter cart.
yeah.
Drifting's enough of a hobby. I don't need to
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, hurt myself.
Everything's just expensive.
Everything's getting more expensive, I'm not getting paid anymore. That
Yeah.
ain't right.
We're definitely lucky to be in a position to do this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, and, like, have I don't know, I guess I just, like, having, like, the Jay-Z and the SR is, like, now there's no way that I'd go out and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna put a Jay-Z in my E30." Like, it's just
No, yeah.
no, I'm
I
gonna get
I want to
random
buy one just
stick.
to have it because I'm like, duh, like what's gonna happen?
Scary, dude. Yeah, it's like, what if I need a power steering pump? What do I do? Gonna be so many left, and then it's just all remans.
Yeah, just like a spare like motor for spares. Like, I don't want to have to think about it.
Scary.
Yeah, the power steering pump one, I'm just like, I haven't thought
I don't know
about
how
it. I
it
haven't
works
thought
so
about
well,
that in
but
a while.
does yours, like, get hot too?
No, mine's been good.
Really, mine gets, like if I don't have a rag, like, around the reservoir, I'm, like, cooking,
Hmm.
like, pretty good.
I wonder why.
I honestly probably, is just that pump because 'cause I've never changed it,
Mine's been
actually.
good to me, but I shouldn't say
Where do you
that.
even buy those? Do you, like, do a drift motion? Like, who do I call
I don't
for a
know.
drift motion?
Probably. I wonder if they're the same as one of the other Jay Z's. You would hope.
Gotta have I wonder if the 2J is gonna do the 1J thing. Or you think because we got it here, you think it'll stay, like, kinda cheapish?
Um, like the G's? Or
Yeah. But you could do, like, the cheap GE turbo thing, like, that kinda works.
yeah. I was actually just talking to Aaron about that.
Really? Apparently they make, what is it? Apparently they make good torque
Yeah.
from what I hear.
I'm not after that. I want the
I need the noise, dude.
yeah.
I'm a big if it doesn't sound cool, it ain't work.
I want that fucking yeah. It's so good.
Nothing better, dude. I need to go external gate. I'm still internal, and that's, like, what I feel like you really unlock, like, that old, just screaming
Mhm.
external gate noise, like,
Mhm.
they're really the sauce.
I'm just like telling you to spend so much money right now. Like, yeah,
Get a
man,
turbo, and also get an
turbo,
angle.
angle kit, external gate.
But then it's like I could just do that and enjoy it and just, like, build the 240 slowly instead of, like, trying to just bomb it together, which doesn't sound like the worst plan, honestly. You may have scumbagged me on ordering an SLR kit when we finish this.
See, Sean, Sean Love Racing. Come on,
Send him
man.
a DM. Palmer told me that. Oh, dude. Let's do it. Let's try it. It's just like so many people do it. Obviously, it works. Like it's gotta be proven to a point if it's still on the market as much as it is.
I'm not making any more fucking comments, Sean. Sean Love Racing. Or anyone who works there or knows.
At SLR.
Can you just tell them, please?
If you work at SLR, get better at the hookup
I
department.
would very much I would very much like my lower control arm situation figured out.
Please warranty my control arm.
Please. Both of them.
Dude, what's messed up is I work at O'Reilly's during the day, dude, and some of the stuff that people bring into warranty blows my mind, and I'm like, yeah, I got you.
Tell me, dude, give me a good one.
Dude, we had a the probably the best one was I had a lady bring in brake pads 3 times. All 3 times, they were, like, very clearly worn all the way through, and by the 3rd time, I had to explain to her, like, "Ma'am, like, you're, like, just bringing me an empty Coke can and asking me to give you a fresh Coke for your empty Coke can, like, I can't just keep giving you brake pads." And she called corporate, and she called corporate and told her I wasn't helping her, bro. And corporate called me, they're like, "Hey, listen, like, Jade Smith came in, wanna know why you would warranty your brake pads." I was like, "They're worn to the metal. What do y'all want, P&L or me to tell this lady to have a good day?" Like that's funny. And then the new one's been, we got a paint mixer at my work. So I've been like trying to scumbag them and try to get the stores, and they won't add the part numbers for the paint. So I've got to sell the paint as like a misc item, and then that raises the corporate flag because it looks like I'm price matching. So every day, dude, like the corporate DM calls, she's like, "Hey man, why are you making this cheaper than we're getting it for cost? We're losing money." It's like we've been over this.
Give me the part numbers, man.
Part numbers in this end. O'Reilly's.
Also, I am taking on corporate sponsorships at this point, so next time your next time your district manager calls, tell them you're on a podcast and they should sponsor it.
Dude, I'll send me your address. I'll send you a big O'Reilly's flag to throw behind you. Have a huge red O'Reilly's flag on the wall.
uh,
Yeah.
I got drift cars to build and drive. I need to drive. It's been I haven't been driving much. I think I've driven like once in the last dude, driven once in the last 6 months.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I drove like 3 events in like a week, and then I took a break, and then I drove 1 or 2 events, and then yeah, I've driven like I guess I drove like a bunch in the beginning of the year.
Dude, you guys don't like have an off season though, right?
I mean, it gets like cold and shit, but like it's not like snowing or anything.
Events keep happening.
Yeah, like I mean, if you're at Thunderhill and it's like really cold, it sucks because it's like you're in the it's kind of like farmlands, but really
We
cold for, yeah, us, is different than, like Midwest really cold. 'Cause, like, you're in the it's kinda like farmlands, but really cold for us is different than, you know, like, Midwest really cold. But really cold for us is different than, you know, like, Midwest really cold. 'Cause, like, you're in the it's kinda like farmlands, but really cold for us is different than, you know, like, Midwest really cold.
It doesn't get too bad here until like January. Everybody just stops having events from like net last week until pretty much February.
Yeah.
It's not really much going on. But I think it's for the same reason everybody's just sick of hanging out in the cold. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
Do your car like what's drifting like in the humidity? The cars get super hot or is it like
yeah, yeah, it's absolute junk. It's absolute junk, and that's like Atlanta's favorite thing. It'll be like 70 degrees and like 150% humidity,
oh,
and then you get 2 laps in, like you're sweating, the car's sweating. Like, uh, spring is cool. It's not too bad in spring, and
damn,
summer's
T-Pain had a good move getting a convertible drift car.
it scares me though. That's a I don't know. It seems like a bad chassis to start drifting. Yeah,
A convertible E46.
yeah, just like a weird car to try and dial in to not feel like a piece of lettuce.
Yeah, I'm
Eh,
sure it's fine.
drive around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Whenever he comes off the track, it's funny. You can like you can sort of tell when he's driving and when George is driving because George would like really rip on it. T Pain would like still be very gentle on it, like didn't know you kind of have to go hard. Like
So get it to drift.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
you could always tell who was wheeling it.
Who's George?
The guy that owns that shop that was screwing him over.
Oh shit. Oh, so
Yeah,
like
that
that dude was at the track also.
yeah. He used to come and hang out all the time, and then he met T Pain. They started their whole weird saga with George. Basically, was like, "Hey, I'll be your guy. Bring me the car whenever. Like, I'll fix it. Whatever you need, we'll get it right." And then it was sort of just George driving the car instead of T-Pain. And then whenever T-Pain wanted to drive it, he would just be like, "Hey, the motor's blown," or like some excuse
What?
to hide the body damage. Dude, I watched this car get plowed into on the back straight at like 60 miles an hour. Like there's a I'll send you the clip after this. This thing gets smashed like going down a back straight. And
I
he just
I'm
wouldn't make
not
ex-
I'm not gonna lie, when I saw like the fucking pickle Rick wrapped LSS 14, I was like, drifting's in a weird place. I don't know if it's
it's in a
ever
weird
I was like, I don't know if it's ever
yeah.
gonna come back. Like, I don't know if drifting's ever gonna be the same again after today.
It's at least not that anymore. It's just like green now. But it was definitely a weird
Not because it
like
was bad, just because it was like, this is new. Like we're in new territory.
actually pickle Rick livery in your entire drift car.
Yeah, I was like, we're in new territory now.
It's dangerous, dude.
I was like, T-Pain is doing uh what's the game where they anyway, like over mm, I don't know,
Like
some
Park Strip
video
racing in real life,
doing
dude.
some video game dance in front of a pickle rip pickle Rick wraps LSS 14. And I'm like, this is the I was like, we're in new times. Like the times like whatever book we're part of, the chapter is changed. Like we're in a
We
new
flipped a
chapter.
page.
We're gonna flip a page to the new chapter of life and there's no going back.
This is it now.
Yeah.
Atlanta's weird, dude. Atlanta's weird.
I like Atlanta.
There was a guy that came with it was like a 350 with a like a crate V8 with those big NASCAR like stacks,
Yeah.
ITBs,
Yeah.
but it was on like 24s and rubber bands. So like it
Sick.
would spin out, but it had like an 800 horsepower crate motor and just would go do it would just spin out. So how do you build that? Get all the way here and then
I spent some time watching donk racing. Like they do
dog
like
racing?
huh?
Dog racing?
Donk racing where they
Dog
like
racing. Like, where do you go to watch dog racing?
I think they have whatever. I think they have a place here somewhere. I'm surprised that's maybe not anymore. I don't fucking know, but like they do like the 8th mile like drag races with like they're donks on like 24s, but they have like
Yeah.
LSX twin turbo setups and shit. I'm like, how do they make traction with those?
Just such a big tire, dude.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, but they weigh so much. Crazy ass bug just flew in you. I'll tell
That'd
you
be
what, dude, having a house has pretty much just been like a big car that needs so many big zip ties and like constant love and attention, dude. I never thought I'd put so many zip ties on things on my actual house. Like it is insane.
Do you feel that, like, learning how to build cars has made working on houses seem a lot easier?
Yeah. Yeah. Cause it's indirectly all just nuts and bolts now, just like much more expensive nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
And if I mess it up, I can't go to sleep. So there's that. Ugh,
That's good. That
it's a nice,
I
like, just get the priorities straight.
yeah. I don't know, sometimes when I mess up shit on my car, I can't go to sleep either. I'm just like,
Laying in bed thinking
"Fuck.
about it,
Why did I do that?"
full blood suffering.
Not, like, crashing my car, but, like, you're, like, trying to figure out how to, like, make it run again or whatever, and you're just like, "Is
Why?
it this?" Fucking c the houses, cars,
And for all my
all
sensors to start going, dude, that's what's next on the Jay-Z.
what
That's like,
sensor?
just all of them. I have, like, 2 of them hooked up to the actual ECU, but
Mhm.
I know I'm getting to the point where, like, I'm gonna start losing, like, VTEC and or not VTEC, but, I just called that VTEC, wow, EBTF.
Dude,
Stupid stuff.
what time is it for you? Is it, like, 1 o'clock?
Yeah, that's crazy. When did when did we start talking?
It's been, like, 3 hours.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're nonsense.
We definitely went to nonsense land a few times. Um, I don't know, dude. Did we cover everything?
Think so. Drif TLDR, drifting is fun. Go Reagan buds.
Yeah. I wanna come out to Atlanta.
Yeah, dude, come through. So hopefully next year I won't be doing a crazy out of state one. So I want to come out there too, and I want to drive Apple Valley, dude. It's one of those like always been in a Seto map. Need to incorporate it in real life.
Dude, yes. Definitely
But
come out.
hopefully by time next mid pond, I'll have some spare cars for you guys to come party.
That'd be
Is the
cool.
plan.
That'd be cool. I'll be nice.
Elite 36 gang. Scumbag guys to come. It'll be cool, dude.
All those troublemakers.
Dude, we brought Will over. We put him in an FRS. That motor blew. We gave him an S13. That SR blew. Like we put him in a third car, and like the trans blew up. We tried to give him like 3 separate rental cars, and they all broke in some way over the weekend, like while he was here.
Awful. I don't know,
Which
there is one common, element.
in all three,
Yeah.
it's just Will. It's all
Some
just
people some people are just, like, mechanical, like, barbarians, dude. Just like
if it can break, they'll break it.
yeah. I just told Julian he should get a job at, like, a auto manufacturer as, like, the, like, last person who, like, drives the car before they sell it to people.
To make sure there's no crazy faults in it or nothing.
Like, cause it like yeah. Like, he'd save them so many recalls, you know?
Okay, this will happen.
Yeah.
Good though. You eventually bulletproof it. Enough of breaking everything, and you
Yeah.
eventually get to like,
Yeah. My car is definitely I've been, like, driving first, maintaining second for a long time, and now I'm starting to see some of the
"You dude, me too." There's gotta be a reason I'm like it's the axle braking's just become more and more, like, as I've kept driving, and there's definitely just, like, a bushing or something that's loose and is causing all of it, but the amount of motivation I have to get under my car is, like,
yeah, I feel it.
sitting over there with a cover over it.
Our shop hasn't had power for, like, 2 months because they, like the city, like, cut the power lines to the building.
Why?
It's a long story, but, I've just been like, "Alright, I'm on vacation, I guess."
Just enjoy no wrenching for a little bit.
Yeah, it'd be really cool if because we're, uh there's, like, Super D NYE coming up, and it's like I want to drive that. I don't want to work on my car, but
Got a little bit of time. It was like
make
a
it
month.
make it
Yeah,
work.
that'll be cool.
Yeah,
Is
you
that
should come out.
a ABS too?
No, it's at Thunderhill.
Ooh,
Yeah.
have to see what we can see.
Yeah, one of these days.
It's all this time.
Hmm.
It's all this time.
Dude, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, dude, it's been cool. It's been cool. I say holler, we'll get some Assetto in.
Yeah.
Sure, dude. We need to drive. We'll need where is halfway for both of us? Texas?
How far is Texas from you?
I know it's at least 10 hours.
Uh, n-
Or how far are you from Musselman? A good bit?
I think Musselman would probably be halfway.
Musselman would be cool. That track looks like
I
fun
want to
too.
try it. Some of the dudes out there said like running it in reverse is sick, and I like looked at it. I was like, that would be sick because you get to like you do that like little right hander onto the straight, and then like blast the straight, and then hit the left hander instead of like trying to come into the straight and hit that like super slow down left.
Yeah, and like
I
that
don't know.
weird 90 thing.
Yeah, that like weird 90, and then the flick back. It's like kind of. I mean, it's doable, but it's not like
Ideal.
yeah, not. That's definitely not like super tandem friendly. Or like definitely not tandem train friendly, especially if you're like trying to like fly in.
Or if you're crash style. Just that video of Drew and Lucas smashing into each other.
Uh, Love it.
Woo! Well, that's the boys.
Oh yeah, what's the story behind Ballhead? Where did that come from?
So like I don't know if it originally started with like I don't know, we were just trying to think of how we could make all the old there was this weird divide between the old heads and like us when we started drifting. And we like had this media beef and it was sort of just this big like fuck you to the old heads, like, oh, we're team ballhead, like y'all are old. And then it sort of played into like
Uh,
Master Roshi being the logo. And
mhm.
then Dragon Ball Z sent us a cease and desist. So that was
What?
that was the end of the Master Roshi
No
ballhead. Now it's
fucking way.
ballhead. Yeah, dude, like second drop in. I did like a tie-dye design with just like the outline of his head wearing sunglasses, and she was like, if you sell any of these, we need any of the money that you make. I was like, I'm just gonna take the website like down and remove this as a product. I had to email like 50 people and be like, hey, this isn't what you're gonna get on the hoodie. If I print it, I'm gonna get sued. Like, I'm sorry, but this is how it has to be. I can either send you your money back or this new design
Damn,
art.
that sucks.
So it just
How'd they
eventually
find it?
there's gotta be some like algorithm that like is searching like Roshi and like bald head in the same I don't know. Like during that time we were getting like maybe like 200 total website viewers a month. So it
Yeah.
couldn't have been like somebody accidentally stumbled across the bald head
Yeah,
page
no
and was like,
way. Yeah.
what is this? But it's crazy, dude. I like opened my email one day to process some orders and it was like, stop. Stop right now. Like, you'll never hear from me again.
Damn.
Just involved in us all being idiots and driving.
That's what Crocs did to one of the podcast sponsors.
Really?
Yeah. I think they yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna talk on that too much.
Dude, they get weird. Like companies like that get real weird about
Yeah.
it like that.
You're like, "Hey man, I made like 50 shirts," and they're like not like
We need all that. We need all that and don't ever do it again. It's like, what do you mean? What? What? What?
that's cool. Well, thanks for doing this. We're gonna hang out again in
Get
person,
on
hopefully.
yeah.
I
Soon we'll
hope.
link up. Get some hangs in.
Yeah. Hopefully drive.
Yeah. I see need to get my car out there next year. Next year, next year, next year.
That'd be cool.
Loaded. Also, you might have to hang up the Zoom call. I'm full blown boomer with this. Dude, you should have seen me trying to download the Zoom app. I was like,
Yeah, man, I know what to do. Don't worry.
Bro, be safe.
Yo, you made it all the way to the end of the episode. You should see therapists. Makes us look good to the podcast overlords if you listen to the whole thing, and of course YouTube. Be sure to subscribe and like and all that shit. Follow us on IG at Goodest. Follow the guest. Check out their links in the description. Check out the sponsors links in the description. And just want to say thank you for making it to the end of the episode, you fucking legends.